29th, 2025, the 343rd day of the Sex Offender Administration. An Oklahoma man has been charged with first-degree manslaughter after allegedly shooting a woman, Sandra Phelps, a few blocks from his home while target practicing in his backyard. Oh, Oklahoma, where bullets come sweeping down the plain. One pilot was killed and another pilot was critically injured after their helicopters collided and crashed in Hamilton in Atlantic County, New Jersey on Sunday. Both helicopters had a pilot and no passengers, and no one on the ground was injured from the crash, officials said. This is the first and last New Jersey helicopter pilot chicken competition. The Trump administration has launched investigations into the use of diversity initiatives in hiring and promotion at major U.S. companies, built on the novel use of a federal law meant to punish businesses that cheat the government. The Justice Department is embracing the theory that holding a federal contract while still considering diversity when hiring is, in fact, fraud against the government. According to the Trump administration, EEOC means eventually employing only Caucasians. A ski patroller, 30-year-old Cole Murphy, who was injured while performing avalanche mitigation work at a California ski resort on Friday, has died. Cole Murphy was, quote, an experienced patroller with a deep passion for the mountains and love for his career. The mountain was where Cole felt most alive, close quote, and now the least alive. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for December 29th, 2025, the 343rd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
Bastard.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
I got a cup of coffee in here, please.
That button. Push a button over here. Push a button over there. I don't know. Button. Like red button. My new name. Or my old name. Or my soon-to-be old new name. Changing everything according to my...
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Everything is changing.
Mind Dog is your mind's best friend.
Look at me. Yeah.
Mind Dog is your mind's best friend.
Open.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
No. How about this one? No, you have to. I was going to have more without after the tabloid stuff. But those aren't tabloid stuff. Those are, I don't know, some other kind of stuff. Not a trouble guy. Oh, I thought that was the last. Come on. Good morning, folks. It's Monday, December 29th, 2025. Almost done with 2025, but, let me read off a couple of the good things that happened in 2025. That's about it. So this year it sucked, and next year will suck even more. Yeah, and I won't be here for it. I'm checking out. As soon as I can get my papers in, I'm checking out. I'm just sick of it. If you were with us on Friday, you noticed a disaster of a show. We had planned on having rappers until the end of until I check out and when my papers come. But one guy, and I don't want to go through the whole thing because it will take forever. And we want to start. We got golfers today. Two authors, golf author Bob Labe And in the second hour, J.M. Shaw, who's been with us before. We want to get to them really quick. But briefly, the guy had put himself on my calendar. And I went back to his promoter and said, all your rappers are not giving me any information to work with. So he went back and he yelled at them. And now the guy who was on Friday went back and put in some information, but it was the wrong information. He sent me links. And this is the other thing. The guy's like stealing a much more successful rapper's name. There is I wouldn't know this because I'm an old white dude. A successful rapper named Khalil. This Lil guy calls himself Khalil Lil. And he sent me to the successful Khalil's Spotify page. And then he was here and he couldn't connect. He didn't have any technical savvy whatsoever. And he answered questions, yip, nope, nope. He didn't once stop me when I was reading the bio of the successful Khalil and say, no, that's not me. I don't know L.A. Reid. Do you know L.A. Reid? A little bit. No, you don't. You never met him. This is not that guy. So in the meantime of him answering questions of yip, nope, yip, somehow he's texting his promoter telling him that I'm just doing him wrong. I'm just trying to give this guy some exposure and help him with his career. I'm not like maliciously trying to hurt this guy. He's hurting himself. I asked him, had you done interviews before? Yep. Clearly he hasn't, because if you had before, somebody would have mentioned, you got to talk. You got to have something to say. And what kind of rapper doesn't have something to say? Anyway, he went back to his promoter and said, this guy's not being nice to me. And the promoter said, well, get off the show. And then the promoter's texting me, DMing me on the side here. And I said, well, you know what? Stop abusing me. He's telling me like what I can say and what I can do. And I'm playing the wrong music. I'm not playing the wrong music. I'm playing the music he sent to me. And he, oh, you're not cool, man. Okay, cancel all your people. Already done. Okay, already done. So I go to Calendly to take all these things out of the bucket, and it has in a space, why are you canceling this? So I just said basically that their promoter, I won't say his name, doesn't approve of the show. And I said that on there. I was cutting and pasting it because you have to put something in there to explain to him why you're apparently when he said already done, that was a lie. So then he called me up about an hour later and said, why are you saying I don't approve of your show? I approve of your show. But like, what? You said they were already canceled. I got to put something in. What would you have me put in there? I'm just canceling you just because? So if you remember on Friday morning also, I started out by saying, I've never received like a legitimate apology. I'm sorry for anything significant in my life. And here it is. This guy wants me to apologize for his guy sending me the wrong information. Then he wants me to apologize for him lying to me about already canceling his people. And I'm angry. And so we got a snowstorm coming on Friday, and I do what everybody does when there's a snowstorm coming. I got to go out for bread and milk. That's a Victor Beto thing. Milk and bread, whatever. It says to the grocery store. I go to the grocery store. I pull into a parking spot, and a young lady, I use the word lady very generously here, pulls into a parking spot next to me as I'm opening my door. Right, it's very close to me, so I can't get out. And I hit her running board. She's got a rubber running board that comes out 10 inches from the Jeep. She gets out, she goes, you dinged my car. I was like, no. Oh, yes, you didn't. Comes around. Now she's going to get aggressive with me and like she's coming around and she's little. She wants to punch me. I said, you know what? I didn't hit your car. She goes, yeah, you did. You dinged my car. I said, show me where I dinged your car. And she comes over and she's like pointing at her door. Right there. You see that? And there's like nothing there. I said, you know what? It's physically impossible. You see this 10-inch running board? You don't even know your own car. You have a 10-inch rubber running board. My door hits that 10 inches before it can get to your car. It's physically impossible. She goes, no, suck my dick. I got a bigger dick than yours. What? That explains a lot. And now she's still getting angry, like she wants to hit me. I'm just like walking away. I'm gonna get a shopping cart now. I'm going to get a shopping cart, and I've already proved her that she was absolutely wrong. She could have just said, "Oh, sorry, I'm just stressed out, whatever." She's gonna hit me. I'm going to get a shopping cart. A one-eyed old woman comes over. She goes, "Leave her alone. Just go in the store." Leave her alone? She's attacking me. And how is this any of your business? In the meantime, a young man, I'm assuming her grandson, because she's a one-eyed old woman, old, and for me to call somebody old, fucking old. And the kid wants to fight. He's calling me a pussy. All right, pussy, you're a tough guy. And he's like 15, 16 years old. And he's a North Shore white boy. He's never been punched in his face in his life. He's never been in a fight. And he wants to start with me. And he tries to take this shopping cart and push it into me. And he realizes, oh, he's stronger than me. And he's standing there. I was like, you know what? You got to, I pull the shopping cart out. Get in my face. And the kid goes to punch me. And I grabbed his wrist. And I quickly twisted his wrist and had him in a submission on the ground. Ow! I let him up. And then he goes and hides behind his one-eyed grandmother or mother or whatever she is. I don't think she could have been his mother, to be honest with you, because she was like 80. And he's hiding behind her, and he's calling me a pussy. And I'm like, hey, tough guy. He goes, yeah, tough guy, look at you. I said, yeah, look at me. I'm right here. You want to come over and fight? You're literally hiding behind your one-eyed grandmother. I'm sorry, and it was a creepy looking eye. It was one of these, the one eye that wasn't, it was like a cat that had an eye clawed out. I'm saying, this is not your situation. Why are you even getting involved? Now, everybody's taking out cell phones. And they say, well, just go in the store. I'm like, I'm not just going in the store now. You're going to fuck up my car. You're going to vandalize my car. I'm staying here till you both leave. And all they're doing is videotaping me. You're going to get a videotape to prove I'm standing here minding my own business, waiting for you to leave. And that went on for a few minutes. And then they finally decided to leave. Now I go out and I make sure that I follow them out of the parking lot. And the girl hits a sign on the way out, that stop sign. And she keeps going. Now it's safe for me to go in the store. Now, again, nobody said I'm sorry. Both of them were wrong. Both of them were in the wrong. And neither one of them said they were sorry to me. I finally go into the store, and I'm doing some shopping, and it's crowded as hell. And I'm looking down into the freezer section there, and somebody comes up and starts punching me in the back of the head. I turn around, it's an old man. Again, for me to call somebody old. He's punching me in the head. And finally, I'm like losing my patience, and I'm just going to wail on this guy. And basically and I hear his wife yell, "That's not him." Apparently, there's some other bald guy who deserved getting punched in the head. But this guy just went up to the nearest bald guy he could find and started punching me in the head. And his wife yelled at him, "That's not him. You got the wrong guy." And the guy says to me, "You fucking dumb son of a bitch," and walks away. Like, when do I get an apology? Everybody's wrong here. So that was my Friday. Nobody ever apologizes. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I know I went on a little long there, but I had to get that out. Anyway, we'll have no more rappers. We have Bob Labe, who's got a book called Punting by the Numbers. It's another golf book. When did we become a golf? Don't have a problem. I love golf, but we're very popular with golf authors now for some reason. And so we'll talk to him in the first hour. In the second hour, we have J.M. Shaw, who's been with us before. I don't know if she's written anything new since the last time she was here. It took me 3 hours to find the interview we did with her last night to kind of get a refresher. It seems like her latest book is still the book that we talked about 150 episodes or 160 episodes ago. Anyway, we'll talk to her in the second hour and get all this straightened out. In the meantime, I'm going to play a quick commercial, and we'll say hello to GD, and then whatever. And then Bob Laber's already here. He's waiting. So we'll get to this really quick.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now is a guy who's never punched me in the back of the head and never said he's sorry either. GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. And I'm sorry that I've never said I'm sorry.
Oh.
Today is the 4th day of Kwanzaa, celebrating the principle of Jumuiya or cooperative economics. Go to MindDogTV.com/merch for all of your Kwanzaa gift needs. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
Oh, thank you. I do enjoy the suffering, but I feel like, listen, when you're absolutely right about something, shouldn't you get oh, I'm sorry, you were right. Sorry, whatever. I'm just stressed because of the holidays.
I grew up with that, and that is still one of my pet peeves. There's not many things that I have pet peeves about that. I mean, serious things that I could get angry about, but that is one of them.
Do they sell peeves at the pet store?
They do sell them at the pet store, but you have to be, you can't just get one. They do a background check just for asking for a pet peeve. They do a background check.
All right. I'm going to go out and I'm selling all my pet peeves. I'm going to get rid of them because they're not serving me well.
You can put them up for adoption, but I'm going to tell you now, once you get rid of your pet peeves, people look at you totally differently. People will ask you, do you have any pet peeves? You go like, no, I got rid of them. They'll be like, oh, look at you. You got rid of your pet peeves. Well, I still have mine. I still got to feed my pet peeves. And look at lucky you. You're probably the same guy that everybody apologizes to.
Now, do you recall last time we had a golf author on?
Yes.
You were upset with him because he dodged your question about.
I wasn't upset. I don't think I was upset, but I was very disappointed. And I'm going to ask this golfer the same thing, only because to me, it's the nature of the game of golf. It's the honor system. That is the whole thing about golf is the honor system. I mean, forget the ball, forget the club, forget the socializing. The game itself is the honor system. And if you
I just want to point out one thing. He didn't apologize to you for dodging your question.
No.
So
he asked for footage. He asked for footage.
All right. He acted like he didn't know. Like, I didn't know. I just got to this planet.
I just arrived yesterday, and I invented golf when I came here.
All right. Bob Labe is a former executive in the business world who started golfing as a way to kind of network with salespeople coming into his company, and he wasn't competitive about it. But then eventually fell in love with the game, and now he's written a book about it called "Putting by the Numbers." And your short game. Your short game is what really sets you apart. I mean, anybody can hit a ball long. Hitting it straight is a different matter. But putting separates the winners from the losers, as they say. So Bob Labe is here now. Let's welcome him in and say good morning. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure to have you. Let me pull up your book. Tell people a little bit about your backstory and how you came to become an author about writing about golf.
Okay. Well, quickly, I'm a 1968 graduate of Georgia Tech. I'm an engineer. I went to work in the air pollution control field. I started, developed, and sold 3 air pollution control companies. I finally retired for the 3rd time at the end of 2023. I'm fully retired now. I've been playing golf since 1996, and that's the short version.
All right. You say retired for the 3rd time. I'm kind of in between my first and second time. It's just unusual. Now, I think what you just talked or just kind of hinted at there. We have a thing where you retire and then you get bored, or you run out of money, run out of money, or lots of different things, and then go back to work, and then you retire again, and then you figure it out. So was this the last time you're fully retired? You say you're fully retired now. Is that permanent?
Yeah, it's permanent. I'm 81 years old, and I was in the air pollution control business for more than 50 years. And did a lot of good things in those years, had a lot of fun. My work was such that I never felt like I worked. Going to work every day was a joy. And so it's even though I'm retired, I decided in 21 that I needed to put all those notes I'd written about putting into a book, and that's what I did.
Excellent.
I just want to mention something. There's a woman named Betty Reed Soskin, I should say was, because she died last week. At 104 years old, she died. At 84, she started a new career.
She's a better woman than me.
What was the career?
I was just going to say, I didn't want to call you a quitter, but I was just saying.
What was the career, though? If it was something like you could do just sitting in your, like, if this is not a
park
career,
ranger.
I started.
Park ranger.
Oh, wow. I would love to, if I get that job. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say now, but, the part about loving your job. I love my job too. I hated the commute. That's why I retired in 2019. It's just I could not take driving hours and hours. Long Island, New York traffic in rush hour just killed my spirit. But the work itself, I loved it. Anyway, so you had notes you'd written about putting. This is interesting to me. Like you're out there on the green. Were you writing notes contemporaneously, like while you were putting? Like, oh, that doesn't work.
No.
Or were you doing this? God damn it! Let me write that
down. Well, I did a lot of that, but I didn't take any notes. No, I would take my notes after I finished the round, and my wife's a very good golfer, and we play a lot of golf together. And she was always kind enough to let me practice what this manner of quantitative golfing on the course. And then I would tell her what was on my mind. Then when we got back to the clubhouse after the round, I'd write some notes down and stick them in my bag. And I started golf in 1996 when I was 52, and I had retired for the first time then. And my partner and I decided, hey, once we retire from our business, we love the game of golf. Let's go and learn how to play it. So I went to Maggie Valley, North Carolina, took some lessons, got good at every part of the game with the 13 clubs. But the putter was killing me on long distance putting. I wasn't too bad a short putter, but a long distance putting didn't have it. So that's what caused me to get involved in thinking about a quantitative method of putting. And that's how this book came about. Okay.
You got me baffled already because your short putts were fine. The longer, and I even said the word putts just sounds weird for a New Yorker because it means something different here. But because I'm led to believe it's all one swing. So why would it be, why would it be different long than short? It's still just the same swing, right?
Well, yes, it is. You're exactly right. And it, hitting a short putt, and I consider a short putt anything between 3 and 5 feet. Anything over 5 feet, I consider a longer putt. So, but my 3 to 5 foot putting was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. My long distance putting, if I was 50, 60 feet away from the hole, I would either muscle up and hit it too hard, or I'd baby it, hit it too soft, which would ultimately eventuate in a 3 or 4 putt, which would ruin my score. Okay. Right. And when I quickly realized that I was not a good feely touchy putter, like, the guys that play on Sunday in the tour, they're feely touchy. They're real athletes, and they really know how to do everything in the game of golf. They live in a different world than we do. So I said, well, I'm an engineer. I should be able to figure this out. And then I was watching a PGA tournament on Sunday, and they were talking about Edward Stimpson and the stimp meter, who he invented this stimp meter back in 1935 after the U.S. Open at Oakmont. And a stimp meter is used around the world today in all tournaments to determine the speed of the greens. And it's nothing more than a tube with a groove in it that you put the balls on, and you let them lift it up, and you roll down the tube and roll onto the green. And they have 3 balls with it, which they do this. And if the balls lie within 2 feet of each other, then they establish that as the speed of the green for the day. So if a ball runs out 12, 13, 14 feet, and the average is 13 feet, then the speed of the green for the day is 13. And that's a very relative thing, okay? And the speed of a green, if you watch the PGA Tour, 13 is very, very fast. And the pros putt on 12, 13, 14 greens all the time. Most of us amateurs and recreational golfers, we putt on greens that are 9, 10, 11, something like that, if you're playing a good course. So I thought, well, heck, if Edward Stimson could develop this qualitative method of determining the speed of greens, then I'm an engineer. I should be able to figure out a quantitative method. And that's what set me out on my journey over the years, and taking all these notes, stuffing them in my bag. I've had several friends tell me, "You need to write a book, Bob. You need to write a book." Well, when you're busy running businesses, you haven't got time for that. But I still had time for golf, and so after all those years, 25 years of stuffing notes in my bag and practicing what I was doing, I learned that the method that I had developed was linear, it was repeatable, and it was accurate, and that anybody could do it. And that's what caused me to write the book, because I believe there's 30 million golfers in the United States, and there's 300 million golfers worldwide. And whether you're a recreational golfer, an amateur, or a pro, this will help you. You can save at least 4 or 5 strokes off your game every 18 holes that you play. And the reason you can do that is it's linear, it's repeatable. All putting is a forced friction action. You got a friction of the green, the fringe, the fairway, the first cut or rough, and they all have different friction resistance. Well, you strike the ball with a putter, okay? That's the force. The friction is those surfaces, and you can then calculate how far I should pull my putter back for my individual power factor. And my individual power factor is the key thing, because everybody has an individual power factor. And that means when you grab the putter and you rock your shoulders and you stroke through the ball. Everybody does it about the same way, but everybody holds the putter different. Everybody has a different methodology about how they use the putter. I don't care how you use the putter. All I'm interested in is the amount of force that you apply to the ball, and that's what we call your individual power factor. My individual power factor for the carpet in my basement here is 11 feet of travel for 1 inch of putter retraction. Okay.
You got to be a mathematician. Wow.
Well, no, I knew that I had to make this thing simple. It has to be something arithmetic that, how many jars of pickles can you get for $10 and you go in the grocery store? Has to be that simple. Okay. So that's what I did. I took this physics and engineering mechanics, all these thoughts of friction and force and all this, and I made it down to an arithmetic system that however many inches you retract your putter from the ball with your individual power factor and you stroke through the ball, you get a certain travel distance. So my individual power factor for most quality courses that I play is somewhere around 20 feet per inch of retraction on the green. It's about 7 feet for the fringe, and it's about 7 feet for the fairway, and it's usually about 2.5 feet for every inch of retraction in the first cut of rough. And then I write those on my scorecard before I go out and play the game. And then when I get a putt that's off the green or on the green, I just arithmetically, if I'm 60 feet away, my IPO for the green is 20. I retract my putter 3 inches, hit the ball, and I'll guarantee you it'll always be within 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 feet of the hole, and I'll make that second putt invariably. Sometimes I make that long putt too. But
go ahead.
My question is very simple.
Okay.
you greens are not perfectly flat. They're hills and stuff. And so, because what killed me as a putter was reading the hills. It wasn't knowing my strength. It was knowing how to like where to put the ball so it comes back down or goes up, how to ride the slopes in there. And so I would try to not hit the green. I tried to get just to the edge of the green so I could chip up to like 5 feet. I would avoid the green, anything, and I would chip so I would get within like maybe 3 to 5 feet, and then I'd have a short putt because I did not want to have a 50-foot putt or 40-foot putt because then I got 10 putts.
I think you lied. Hold on, I think you lied. You know where the lie was? This is a very simple question because already there has not yet been a question, but we heard about what you did, but there was still no simple question. So I think you lied.
The simple question is his formula sounds like it assumes that it's flat because it just says, but if there's like a slight ingrade, then there's going to be whatever your force is going to have to accommodate that uphill.
Correct.
And so that's what I'm trying to understand. How does what you do accommodate the dips and valleys, subtle dips and valleys on a putting green?
That's a great question, and it's in my book. Okay.
I gotta buy the book.
Gotta buy the book. BobWebb.com.
Huh?
Yeah.
and to answer your question very simply is if you got an uphill putt, I have a graph in my book that shows for 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 11 degrees, you increase your retraction by nominally an inch for every 2.5 degrees of slope on the green. And you have to visualize, you take a look at, you have to have visualization to the effect that when you you're obviously not going to carry a ruler with you on the golf course to see.
I do. I carry.
Well, you're the only one.
I don't think he's the only one.
I used to use that little laser thing, but I said that is so. What if I don't have a battery? So I just a little. No.
To be and I hate to back him up like this, but I've seen people with bringing all sorts of measuring devices and things with them on the golf course, and that's my simple question is because as the day goes by, the sun moves and the grass moves with it. Even the small green grass on the green moves with it. Does that affect that at all? The angle of the grass?
That's another great question. It's also covered in my book. Okay,
wow.
Because
gotta buy the book.
Yeah, if the book's only 82 pages long, it's an easy read, and it comes with a 10-minute video, in-home practice video, and a 23-minute on-course practice video. It talks about weather conditions. Okay, you're exactly right. As you start out at 8 o'clock in the morning, there's dew on the grass. And then you start playing. Your round starts at 8:30. You play 4.5 hours till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And during that time, the dew evaporates from the green and the fairway and all the rest of the surfaces, and so the friction changes. Okay, and Rule 5 in the PGA rules allows you to practice on a green after you've completed the hole and put a ball down and practice, see if there's any change in distance per your retraction, to determine whether anything's changed since you started play. And
wow.
that's how you correct for those changing conditions. Wind changes the playing surface, the sun changes the surface, the moisture content. Even when they're watering greens in the summer when it's really hot, that got watering effect of the guys watering the greens to save the grass, that it changes the frictional factor of the green. So all those things have to be taken into account, and that's all in my book. Okay.
What about power factor?
Yeah.
Your power factor, does that change over time? Like in the course of your life, I mentioned this 15-year-old kid who thought he could, but so from teenage years to your prime and your manhood, and then on this side of the hill, it starts to get the power factor changes, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you determine your power factor every time you go out and play golf. You get to the golf course 30 minutes early. You go on the practice green. First thing I do when I get to the golf course, pay my fee, go to the practice green. I putt for 15 minutes on the green, off the fringe, off the fairway, off the first cut of rut. I determined for that day what my individual power factor is for each of those surfaces, and then I write it on my scorecard before I go out. When I get done with that 15 minutes of putting, then I'll go over and hit a 7-iron, a driver or something on the driving range for a few minutes. But the key, as you all know, putting is at least 50% of the game. 36 putts in a round if you're good. Okay, 72 strokes per round. That's 50% of the game. So if you become a very good putter, invariably you will become a very good golfer.
So my question, I don't know how much I didn't check to see how much the book is, but if it's shaving if it's shaving strokes off your putting, that increases the amount of money you can win against your fellow friends. So what is the ratio of gained income, gained betting money versus the cost of the book?
Well, that all depends on how much you absorb from reading the book.
Okay. So it's a sliding scale. It's a sliding scale.
Exactly.
It's a putting scale.
And I mean, and the book comes in soft copy, hard copy, audiobook, Kindle.
Audiobook.
Yeah.
Did you read the audiobook yourself, or did somebody else read it?
I had a narrator, a professional narrator, narrate the book for me. He does a lot of movies and that kind of stuff too. So yeah, Steve did a really good job with narrating the book. So it's you go down the road and listen to it. And it, you know, I have a copy of the audio and I stick it in my car and I listen to it. And you know, it kind of reminds me, even though I invented the method and developed the whole thing, it kind of reminds me all the finer points. So I listen to my audio every 2 or 3 months. I listen to it just for funsies, and it keeps me in touch with the quantitative nature of the game that I've created. And I recommend it to anybody, regardless of your skill set.
Now, I'm just thinking of comic gold here with having either the big movie trailer guy read a book about golf, or the Naked Wines guy reading a book about golf. I would think there's got to be some comedy gold in that. Go ahead, GD. You have a question?
No, I was just gonna.
Naked
on your website, you have 2 tutorial videos.
Correct.
Now, those complement the book, or are those straight from the book?
Well, they're complementary to the book, and you can go online and look at them free of charge. You can look at both 10-minute and 23-minute videos without even buying the book. And then if you see, if after you look at those videos and say, hey, that looks pretty simple, I think I can do it, then I suggest you pay the $5 or $6 or $7, whatever form of the book you buy, and buy the book, because the details are in the book. Okay.
Right.
But you can watch those videos and you can see if you think the method is for you. And what I do, I recommend that if you do that, practice the method 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week for 6 weeks. And at the end of those 6 weeks, you will absolutely know if this method is for you and your game.
Oh, the method's for everybody. It works.
It works. It absolutely works. Yeah.
All right. Now, you said earlier on, and I wanted to ask you about when you said it. You said it's for anybody, like from beginner to pro. Have you had pros read the book and give you testimonials for it? Because that would be a really impressive thing, right?
Yeah, I'm not so presumptuous. I have a 7 handicap at age 81, so I'm a pretty good golfer, but certainly not in the realm of these touring pros or even club pros. They really are fantastic golfers. So I'm not so presumptuous as to try to influence a professional golfer into believing that my book is the solution to putting.
How about a retired professional golfer, though? Someone whose ego is not on the line. In other words, they're not out there every day going like, oh, I got to be better than so-and-so. And it's like, okay, I've done this. I'm retired. I can relax and enjoy the game because it's not my living. And then look at the book and go like, my God, I wish I knew this 10 years ago. Or, you know.
Well, I agree with you. And I'll tell you the truth. I honestly believe.
No, don't do that. Don't start telling the truth. Now, lie to us. Lie.
That would be the very first time on this program.
Yeah, don't tell the truth and don't apologize.
I believe that the touring pros like Bryson DeChambeau, who's a very quantitative guy like me, they probably have all read this book. Okay. But they may not even admit that they've read it. But I bet they have, because, you know, the one thing about this book, it's good for everybody. What it does, it creates methodology in your head. When I go or play golf, when I get a ball even close to the green or on the green, I have a plan in mind when I get to the green. And that focusing on how to putt and what to do when you putt is half the battle. So when I get to the green, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, exactly. I'm going to calculate the whole thing, and when I get to the green, I'll know exactly what to do. And I make a lot of putts that are more than 30 feet long. Because
I think you just touched on something that is problematic within society right now. And because I'm a musician, and I know that many young musicians especially are frustrated with music theory and think, well, I have to learn all this stuff. I have to be thinking all the time. No, you learn the rules to the point where you master them so you don't have to think about it anymore. Then you can just throw them all away and play. And I think a lot of that is true about your book. You read the book, you absorb it, you practice what's in the book. But at some point, you no longer have to think about it, right? It just becomes second nature.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Georgia Institute of Technology, were you born and raised in Georgia?
No, I was born in Akron, Ohio, and first 10 years in Akron, moved to Miami for the next 10 years, went to Louisville, Kentucky, where I started my air pollution control for 2 years, spent 42 years in Atlanta, and have been 20 years here in St. Louis.
So the reason since you were born in Ohio, are you legally allowed to cheer for another team other than Ohio State? Is that legally allowed?
My favorite team is Georgia Tech.
I figured as much because you went there, but is that legally allowed? In other words, if you go back into Ohio, will they arrest you at the border?
It's possible. Yeah. It's possible.
Well, that's why the reason I asked was because Georgia is known for Augusta and the Ghost of Savannah and all. It's a very golf. They love golf in Georgia.
Absolutely.
Why it took you 52 years to become a golfer if you were born and bred in Georgia, but you weren't. You were born in Ohio.
Right.
So now does that? Because I go to the VA a lot and VA facilities a lot. The one I go to most often has this huge golf course. I was there on December 3rd and people were out there playing golf in New York, and it was cold out, 50, 45 degrees or something. But different parts of the country definitely have different weather. Like in Georgia, you can play year round pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Does that affect? It's got to affect your ability, right? How much you can get out there and do the experience, because people up in the Northeast, they got to be sheltered in for 3 months and lose a lot of the muscle memory. Yeah.
Well, that's true. And now that I'm fully retired, my wife and I spend the winters in Cabo San Lucas, and then we come back to St. Louis in the spring. And then we go out to Southern California in the summer, and then we come back to St. Louis in the fall. So we're fair weather friends, and we play golf year round. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, when you have to put up your clubs at the end of November and don't bring them out until March again, that dead period is when you practice your putting indoors using my indoor video, and then your putting. If you keep your putting in good form during the winter, then when you come out in the course, you can get those other 13 clubs working pretty good. But getting that putter and having it working right is the key to success.
We've softened you up enough that that we can approach what TD wants to talk to about. Because you heard in the beginning he was talking about a game of you're on your honor and all this stuff. Ever see anybody cheat on the golf course?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What happens to them?
Well, the game of golf is a game between you, yourself, and God. And if you want to cheat, that's your own business. That will tell you what kind of a person you are. Golf is a great golf is a great game for business people, and I was aware of that, but I was too busy in my business to take up the game of golf because it takes 4.5 hours to play 18 holes. That was a big mistake in my life because you can do a lot of business on the golf course. So I found out after I retired the first time.
But I feel like God would probably beat me most of the time.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
I think all the
time. Yeah, you never know. He could have a off day. I don't know. But
what was it? A war over there? Somebody started a war during the middle of my putt. I want a mulligan. I want a mulligan.
I'm trying to relax on the golf course here. Who needs a tsunami?
I want a mulligan.
Yeah. So, but the idea of cheating, I mean, especially in competition. I mean, you talk about, because if you're just out there relaxing and whatever, what's the point? Like, you're just cheating yourself, and what does that matter? But people cheat in competition, because I wonder if that's a thing. I don't watch it on television all that much. I used to, but I often think, like, you don't see, you got all these cameras on. None of those guys can have the opportunity to cheat in any way, can they? Or disillusion me? Say.
Yeah, let me say this. I don't think of the 150 touring pros on tour, I think all those guys have the highest sense of and degree of honesty and want to play the game according to the rules. And yet there's always some interpretation. For instance, if you get up to a ball and you're getting ready to address the ball and the ball moves and you haven't addressed it, that's not a penalty. But if you have addressed the ball and the ball moves, then that's a penalty stroke. Okay.
Right.
The kind of the
some golf movie where that happened, where the guy put his club down on the grass, but it was like 3 inches from the ball, and the ball moved, and then the ball moved. It was like, I don't know how you rule on that kind of thing. I think that if it moved and you didn't touch it, you haven't addressed the ball, as you say, then that's just natural.
Yeah, that's where the splitting of hairs comes involved. Is did you address the ball or did you not address the ball? And that's where the honor of the player comes into play. You know, as the golfer, whether you address that ball or not. Okay.
Right.
And if you address the ball, then you must take the penalty stroke. And
I think, have you become?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah, I think that that's what's so cool about the game of golf. It's an honorable game, and like you said earlier, you're only cheating yourself when you cheat. Okay,
right.
Play the game per the rules. Your scores, then your score. Now, if you're out just messing around I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Sometimes I go out and play and don't even put a score on the scorecard. I just play just for the enjoyment and the exercise, But when I play seriously in tournaments, I play by the rules.
Yeah, that just makes sense.
My question, this is my question. I don't expect you to answer it. Good morning, Ann in California. I don't expect you to answer for every golfer, but this is my beef, my pet peeve, and it's a big pet and it's a big peeve. Okay. Golf is based on honesty. One of the most prominent or notorious golfers,
spit it out,
is a cheater. Trump is a massive cheater. Okay, he's a tremendous cheater. Okay, everybody knows he's a cheater. It's documented. It's filmed. It's been other golfers have mentioned it on shows. It's in books. It's documented. The man's a cheater. Yet he has golf courses that the PGA sanctioned for tournaments. So They're saying it's okay to be a cheater and be affiliated with our brand, which is supposed to be about honesty. I don't get that. To me, that ruffles my feathers.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I hear you. Well, you know about Trump more than I do with respect to his golf game. Okay, so very frankly, I did not know he was deemed a cheater, but if he is, that's his problem. You know, that's
it's not just his problem. What I'm saying, it's a branding problem. In my mind, it's a branding problem.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's like I said, it's notorious. I don't think anybody. I'm surprised that you said you're not aware of it, because I didn't think there's a human being on the planet that wasn't aware of it. It's like it'll be like somebody saying, "I didn't know you guys celebrated Thanksgiving." You celebrate Thanksgiving?
You know what? My bad. I should have pulled up some clips that are, because he's got his caddies throwing the ball on the green while he's doing other stuff. It's comical. The amount of cheating that goes on, but apparently GD wants to hear somebody just come out and
like I said, I don't expect you to answer for the PGA, because you're not you don't represent the PGA,
right?
And I would love to have somebody who actually represented the PGA answer that one question. How can you have your brand, like the Super Bowl, distance himself from Janet Jackson for one nipple slip? Okay, that's it. And they readjusted like wardrobe. They have like a whole new wardrobe policy because of one nipple slip.
But they have not distanced themselves from betting or cheating or any of that kind of stuff, right? So
right.
But they did for a while. But eventually they caved. Right? For a while, and Pete Rose is probably turning over in his grave going, really? If I just waited 20 more years to cheat, I'd be all right?
I'm sure. Well, I really can't answer that question. I think that's a very good question. Tiger Woods has played golf with Trump. There's so many celebrities that have played golf with Trump, and apparently they claim that he's a good golfer. I don't know, but if he's a cheater, he's a cheater.
They have like I said, they have footage of he'll hit something and the ball will go in the rough, and his caddy will go over and grab the ball and throw it out, or he'll kick it. They got it's not just somebody can say, well, if his caddy's doing it, he doesn't know his caddy's doing it, that he can't be blamed for that, but he'll kick the ball himself. Okay, he'll just that's so.
The most comical one is he's teeing off and he misses the ball completely. He goes like this and then looks around and he goes and picks the ball up and puts it in his pocket.
Yes.
Well, what you can say about that for sure is that Mr. Trump doesn't play by the PGA rules.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
So what? He's on the Trump Golf Association rules.
He plays by his own. He plays by his own rules, and if he wants to do that, then he's really not playing the game of golf.
Okay, that's fine. Then the PGA should say that's not golf as we know it. We don't play by those rules. Yeah. He's not playing by our rules, so we will not sanction his golf courses.
All right, I think we've stayed Trump focused long enough here.
Okay.
I'm still angry though.
A couple of things.
All right, let me tell you about my pet peeve. Here's my pet peeve right here.
What is that?
It's a drink coaster. I invented this too.
This is invented drink coasters.
Yeah, this is a drink. This is the only drink coaster in the entire world that works. It's patented, and I invented this and got a patent on it back in March of 2024.
Is that the kind that absorbs the moisture as it comes out? So it does. What's different about that one?
What this one does, this is an engineered coaster, and it works by capillary action. What it does, it captures, conveys, collects, and contains condensate. So it doesn't get on your clothes, your cocktail table, or your carpet.
Wow.
It's an engineered coaster. It's the only coaster in the entire world that works.
Now,
we should be marketing the hell out of that.
Well, I'm curious because when I was younger, like maybe 20, 30 years ago, I bought coasters that actually absorbed the condensation from the glass and stuff. It's like I said, it's like 20, 30 years ago. As a matter of fact, I may still, my wife would probably tell you one of her pet peeves with me is that I was like a coaster guy, and she's not a coaster gal. She's a coastal gal. She loves the water, but coasters.
Right.
Didn't they do Charlie Brown, the coasters? Who walks through the classroom moving kind of slow? That was the coasters, right? The coasters.
Yeah,
I think they absorbed a lot of alcohol.
And that's a different pattern.
Yeah.
And we won't keep you much longer, but I'm just curious about the game of golf and the love of the game of golf. Have you become? Do you like golf movies? And can you? Or do you have a favorite golf movie?
I do. Tin Cup.
Tin Cup. I love that one.
Rene Russo and Kevin Costner.
And Kevin Costner. Yeah.
Right. That was, to me, that was the best golf movie ever.
Wow. Do you watch golf on television, like PGA events?
All the time.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Most sports nowadays, baseball, football, hockey even, are trying to do all these things to get more eyes on the thing on television and trying to make it like more modern, and they're ruining the game on those. So I came up with one for golf. Just dig the hole, make the hole like 5 inches wide, 5 feet wide, so you can't miss. Like there's just a huge crater out there, then more people will watch on television.
Well, yeah, I hear you, but I mean, if you're, like I say, there's 30 million golfers in the United States, and there's 300 million golfers worldwide, and there's 100 million miniature golfers, and those people,
they like to be called dwarfs and little people. They don't want to be called miniature golfers. They want to be called little people.
Little people. Okay. Well, this method works for miniature golf too, by the way. But anyway, with that being said, I try to watch every professional golf tournament that I possibly can, and I never miss any of the 4 majors or the 5th one, including the Players. But I try to watch golf every Saturday and Sunday. I pick it up sometimes on Thursdays and Fridays, but I watch a lot of golf, and it's watching those guys perform at the level they perform at. They live in a different realm than we do. And, they're so very, very good. It's just inspiring to watch them.
I think to make the golf, I now have like in my closet, I have practice golf balls, a little yellow
next to the skeletons. I'm sorry. Okay.
I had to move the skeletons because of the practice balls.
All right.
But when you practice, should you practice with those, or should you practice with the same balls that you play with?
I always practice with the 3 balls that I'm going to play with during the round. I usually pick out a new sleeve of balls. I mark them and I take them to the practice green, and I use those balls to practice with, and then I take them to the golf course. And the reason I do that, yes, there is an infinitesimally small amount of difference between the compressed ability of one ball to the other.
Right.
But why make a change when all you got to do is use the three balls you're going to play with on the practice green, then take them to the course. It's just a habit I'm in, and I think I recommend it to everybody. Play with the balls you practice with.
So why do they sell those little practice balls? I'm just curious. Because to me it makes sense. What you just said makes perfect sense. You practice with what you're going to actually use in the game.
Right.
So I was just curious about, because why do they sell those little little balls?
Money. That's the one. Simple answer, right? Money.
It's all about money. Yeah, I think that's right. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. One last question, then we'll let you go. We've got the book cover up here, Putting by the Numbers, and it's interesting to me that there is a camera right behind the hole as that ball is approaching the hole. We don't know if it went in or not, but it looks like it's going to go in. First of all, is that you making that putt?
No, it's not. When I wrote the book, you take Getty has a bunch of professional photographs that you can utilize for putting on the cover, the back, or whatever you want on your book. And so I had a selection of hundreds of photographs, and I've selected that photograph as the most applicable for my book. And I don't know who that guy is, but I think he makes the putt as well.
See, I think I would have done it differently. I would have had you be the golfer, and that close up of that ball have your mark on it, whatever your mark is for your ball. Just your mark right there.
Yeah, hey, that's a great idea.
Or the website URL right on. Anyway, or it could have been like, now that I'm thinking about it, this could have been just completely staged. They put the ball there. They said, stand back there.
Right, yeah,
I'll get the
That's how, and that's how I would have done it, because I would not have been. I would have been off the green chipping to get that. I would not. Yeah. And I never had a no. I was to cheat. My way of adapting to golf was to avoid a long putt at any cost.
I see.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate you being part of the program. We will do our best to kind of move some books for you. Here's what I'm interested in. I would really like to advertise your coasters. Are you mass selling them, or or mass producing them?
They're being sold on Amazon, Amazon Prime. You can buy them free delivery. They're $19.99 for 4 of them, with art, any kind of artistic stuff. We have dogs, we have flowers, we have cat, anything. You can pick a selection of our artistic renderings on the coasters. It's the Ultimate Drink Coaster Company, and you go to www.ultimatecoasterco.com, and that's the website. You can buy them on Amazon Prime. They're advertised on electronic billboards in Seattle, Spokane, Meridian, Mississippi, golf course. I'm doing podcasts with them as well. So yeah, we've sold over 100,000 of them already. We've commercially went in business at the beginning of 2025, and we're having a good time with them. And honest to gosh, they really do work. And they're the only coaster.
Well, I'm going to get some, and since I'm already an Amazon affiliate, I can sell them through here and kind of or sponsor them every day, and kind of get some people. We're going to change the world's coaster habits here on Coffee with the Dog. I'm going to get it for my coffee cup every day.
And this will solve your pet peeve.
Not my pet peeve. My pet peeve is nobody ever says they're sorry to me. Anyway, you don't need to say you're sorry to me. Anyway, thank you for me.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Have a great day, and keep
care. Okay.
Thanks, Bob. Bob Labe, folks. BobLabe.com. And we will start selling his coasters as of tomorrow. So good stuff now. Do you feel satisfied now about the because he gave you pretty much the same answer the last guy gave you, which was
I don't know that he's a cheater.
Trump cheated? First time hearing about it. Now, I think he was sincere, though. I don't know. Do you not think he was sincere? I think he was sincere. No?
I think it may be like a technicality. Like, in other words, not like I've never heard of it, but I have no evidence of it because I haven't seen it firsthand. And that's what matters to me.
My takeaway was that he's so wrapped up in his own golfing, and I don't have time to watch or pay attention to that. It's not my business. I watch golf. I'm out there
there have been other people who talked, like they were talking about golf, and they were mentioning it in the conversations.
That's fair enough. Yeah, no.
They'll be like, you may not know who Pink is. I'm just saying, but let's say you really like Billy Joel. You really like Billy Joel, and you're watching an interview, and Billy Joel says, "You know who I'd love to perform with? Pink. I'd love to perform with Pink. Her voice is so blah blah blah. It's so complimentary to what I do." And then even just hearing that once, you might say, "I should check out Pink." Billy Joel says that she's such a good singer. I really like Billy Joel. Maybe I'll check out Pink.
Yeah. Well,
so
you know golfer,
what? No, I'm just, even if somebody like Lee Trevino, Lee Trevino says, "Okay, I played golf with Trump." I just picked that out. That was the first. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the first name that came to my mind. I don't know why Lee Trevino came to my mind.
You get what I just said? I said Diddy. Now somebody's going to say, that's not cool. You brought up Diddy.
Okay, Diddy says, I was playing golf with Trump, and he grabbed my balls. It was totally against my consent.
Balls. All three of his balls.
That's right. But all of a sudden, but if it's somebody that you're interested in and they're talking about it, if Tiger Woods said, well, okay, I'm not really interested in Tiger Woods because he ruined it. Yeah. He ruined it for a lot of us black guys.
Or just for any people. He ruined it.
No. He ruined it for black guys in particular. Because, look, you don't have a hot wife and fuck around on her when you're rich like that. You don't do that. And you got kids. You don't do that.
I'm pretty sure every rich guy who has a hot wife does fuck. I mean, at least the famous one.
I think he's the only one. No. I haven't seen, like, I'm gonna do Bob's golf thing. I haven't seen anybody else do it.
Donald Trump was married to Marla Maples and was
but I wasn't there. I didn't see him cheat. There's no
wait a minute. You're being a golf guy now. I wasn't aware of that. All right.
Maybe he got a mulligan. Maybe he got. Maybe his putter didn't actually. Maybe his putts didn't actually touch the green.
I've been watching this kid, the Gen Z music producer, react to a lot of different music. He did a Steely Dan piece. He did one on Bridge Over Troubled Water the other day, and I was like, wow, this kid. I'm impressed with his overall knowledge of music, but he did one on American Pie, and he was commenting on how great the lyrics were without even understanding. And this to me is the genius of American Pie, and the lyrics to that is understanding what he's talking about. This kid had no reference to who the girl who sang the blues was, or the jester, or the king, or any of these people. But he's finding, wow, these great lyrics, but you don't even know what he's saying. Like you
don't know that the lyrics are great. Then So that's I can't watch these. I can't watch his reaction things. I can't. First of all, I don't believe that half of them. I don't believe half of these people haven't seen these things before, heard these things before. I don't. I honestly don't. I think it's just bullshit.
Well, when you're a kid, I guess listening to my music, the music from because he heard Edwin Starr War. That I'm absolutely certain that this was the first time he heard that, because he was like, whoa, and Temptations Can't Get Next to You, things like that. He was like, holy shit, this is like been picking out the parts. Why? What is that? Like. So I think he's sincerely never heard it or never listened to it. He might have heard it, but never said, what is that? Let me listen to what's going on.
Okay.
There.
I mean, I was, like I said, the only time that I was convinced that this one person, and it was when I did a song parody of a Stevie Wonder song parody. And when I was done, this is in West Virginia, this good old boy says, I don't know who this Stevie Wonder fella is, but that song you did was pretty funny. Now, I thought he was yanking my chain, and I was waiting for him to, let me in on the joke. And his wife looks at me and she goes, he really doesn't know who Stevie Wonder is. Now, she knew who Stevie Wonder is, I guess, because she didn't say I didn't know either. She goes, he really doesn't know who Stevie Wonder is. So
Stevlin Morris.
Was that his real name?
Yeah, I called him up once and had a 30-second conversation with him. The leader of his fan club was staying in a rehab that my mother was an administrator for, a psychiatric rehab, and she put down Stevlin Morris as her contact, the guy who was paying for her time in the rehab stuff. And my mother, against all HIPAA rules, shared that information with me. And I called up Stevie Wonder at home, and I was asking him to be on my radio show. And he was angry as fuck. And then it ended up slamming the phone down on me. And then 30 seconds later, that number was changed. So, yeah, Stevlin Morris. Is he still alive? Stevie's still alive?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's got to be up there, 85 or something, right? Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he's only in his 80s, early 80s, right?
I'm thinking early 80s because I'm trying to think. He was like 13 when he started at Motown.
Yeah, 12 or 13, yeah.
And that was, what, in the 50s? I don't know.
That was like early. He's 75. May 13,
Okay.
1950, he was born. All right. Yeah, so that would be like 1962 and 63 when he was when we saw him first with little Stevie Wonder. Now he wasn't blind, right? He wasn't born blind. He went blind.
And
or
he says that he was, if I remember correctly, he thinks that he was not born blind. He thinks he has an image of his mother from birth, like shortly after he was born. And I think he was blinded shortly after he was born or something.
Oh, it says here his full name is Carl Steveland Morris. That's interesting. Carl. Carl, we haven't heard from Carl in a while.
I was just thinking about him this morning. I was brushing my teeth and I was thinking about Carl Mann.
His real name is Matthew. Carl. His
brother. His real name is it's not Carl at all. Is that Matthew Carl or Carl Matthew?
His real name, no. Carl isn't part of his name. When he went to kindergarten, his name was Matthew, and his older brother, for some reason, told all the kids that his name was Carl. His name was Matthew, and everybody started calling him Carl. He's been called Carl his entire life since kindergarten because his older brother fucked him over like that.
Well, that's not so bad. My older brother told everybody I was gay.
Well, that's not.
Yeah, he told everybody I was gay, and so there are a lot of girls who was like, "That's so." Like I said, I think honestly, I don't know the real number anymore, but I like to say between 4 and 6 because that's probably accurate. Try to make me straight in high school. And I would say, and
that
I'm like,
could work for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, I think this actually may have taken. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
I had that work for me in my freshman year in college. I spread the rumor that I was a virgin, and it worked for me. It definitely worked for me. Girls wanted to be the first. So being gay wouldn't in my consciousness then, but I should have tried that one as well. Not only is he a virgin, he's gay, and then I probably would have got even more.
Now I did, there were a number of guys who were like real dicks to me, and would not, the way I was raised, you didn't go around bragging about your sexual conquest. That's just the way I was raised, and so I would never confirm or deny anything. And so they just assumed because I wasn't bragging that I just wasn't doing anything. And so because I was so discreet, a lot of them I slept with their girlfriends because they would mistreat their girlfriends and their girlfriends would be upset. And because I was sensitive and gay, they would talk to me about their issues and I would, quote, comfort them. And because I was discreet, they, oh, you can't tell Bugs about this. Okay, I won't. I won't. You have to worry about me. Your secret's safe. Our secret is safe. You can't tell Bugs, Bugs.
Wow.
Well, everybody else called him Bugsy, but she called him Bugs.
Yeah. Was he half bunny?
No, I don't know why he got the name Bugsy. Not many black guys went by the name Bugsy. I don't know. It was just the name he had. I don't even know what his real name is.
No, I just read about Bugsy this morning. Bugsy, a gangster. Oh no, I'm sorry. That Bugsy Siegel was the guy who tried.
Yeah, there was Bugsy Siegel, and there was a Bugsy Malone.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Muggsy. I'm thinking of Muggsy,
a black guy who
NBA.
Stood up to Bugsy Siegel. Bugsy Siegel sent 12 guys to kill him, and they all he took them all out without a gun. Basically, according to the story I read, he lured him down to his basement, and there's 12 gangsters. They all got guns. Bugsy Siegel, because he's not paying his protection money to Bugsy Siegel, so he lured them down to his basement, and he didn't have a gun on him. They all had guns on him, and they saw him reaching, but not for a gun. He turned out the light, and in the darkness, they all shot each other, mostly. And he was supposedly a really good fighter and beat the shit out of a lot. He was the only one. He left 12 white guys with guns in his basement dead, and he comes walking out and was unarmed.
If he was black, he'd have been caught. Because as soon as he turned out the light, he just smiled and then it just started shooting at his teeth.
No, he was black. The guy was black.
Bugsy was black.
No, the guy who Bugsy sent to kill was black. I forget what, Snuffy or something like that. I know they all had weird names, all these gangster dudes. But yeah, Bugsy sent all these white guys to kill this black guy who was in Harlem but not paying his protection money, and they all according to the story, and I'm reading this on social media. It could be just completely made up, but it's
if it's completely made up, they'd waited till February to tell it. Black History Month. No, it's not. It
could be. I don't trust any of this nonsense you see, but sometimes they're entertaining little stories. So the weekend, yesterday I was watching a lot of YouTube while I was doing my little work here, and that Valhalla VFT guy, the guy, Valhalla,
the guy who
he's
was
doing
military,
right. He's doing a live stream about a guy named Mitch Snow. It was not even his real name. Who Candace Owens had on our program. He claimed to be a witness that Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk's head of security had a secret clandestine meeting at an Air Force base the day before Charlie Kirk was killed, and that means there was some kind of conspiracy and stuff.
That could have just been a booty call. If it's real, it could have been a booty call.
Or it could have been just made up because there's no evidence that this really happened. So now this guy Mitch Snow, Valhalla VFT did a deep dive into this guy Mitch Snow. It turns out Mitch Snow's not his real name. Everything in his life for 30 years, the guy's been a pathological liar. He's had 10 different women over his life have a protection order of protection against him. He's beat women. He's admitted to it. He threatened a judge's life. He's gone to prison. Nothing this guy is ever, and he's just a con man and a grifter, and he's raised $140,000 off of this lie that he's telling Candace Owens. So he's going to expose this guy, Mitch Snow, and he did like 2.5 hours on it. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because, not that anybody should care about the Charlie Kirk conspiracy, it's that in his chat room were people who just want this conspiracy theory to be true so bad that they were attacking him, even though he's bringing up court documents and all this absolute proof, documented proof. He's showing it. Oh, you're just lying. You're a fag. You're gay. Your wife is a stripper. I mean, attacking him like left and right for 2.5 hours. And it's like, I'm not. Oh, why are you attacking Candace? I'm not attacking Candace Owens. I'm saying she was duped by this guy, and I'm trying to give her information not to get duped again. But to me, there's a lesson in this because you got to see it. The comments are just so brutal from people who want this conspiracy theory to be true so badly that they will go, completely insane if you try to tell them that it's not true. And there's a lesson to be learned in this about how cognitive dissonance can affect and bias can affect your ability to hear the truth or accept the truth when it's presented to you. And I think that's what we're going through with all the MAGA people, like completely. You can show them proof all day long, documented, absolute, no doubt about it, proof, and they'll still deny it to their face. This one yesterday, this live stream he did, was incredible to me. Just on that, I didn't care about the conspiracy theory, but just watching these people dig in and just like make him these are his followers who just turned on him, like brutally turned on him by the thousands, to say, how dare you take this conspiracy theory away from us? It's just amazing to watch. And I would love to have him on the program just to talk about that, how cognitive dissonance just blinds people to the truth, to their ability to hear the facts. What is Heavy Kev saying? Watched a couple of GD specials. Funny as fuck, but a few constructive comments. Let's hear them. Do you want to hear him? I want to hear him.
Sure. I just said I just sent him I just responded saying thanks. Do you want to come on the show?
Yeah, Kev, you have a running invitation here, a long-standing.
Yeah, we'll send you the
I
link.
guess since Friday or Thursday, a long-standing invitation to come on the show.
Because look, our second guest does not look like they're going to be here.
Yeah, what happens here?
I don't know.
Now
we can send you, let us know. We'll send you a link, and you can come on the show.
Yeah. J.M. Shaw has been with us before, now not that long ago. I spent hours last night trying to figure out when, because I know the book, the Calum. I don't even remember Calum Walker. I should remember Walker, right? I remember having trouble with that name. Is it Calum, and all that stuff? And I'm like, she's been on the show before, and then I went try to look it up, and I couldn't find her, and I was going crazy. Turns out she was on when Big D. Remember that Big D, the comedian from Long Island, was on not that long ago, like 150 episodes ago. You were here for it, and she discovered she was autistic. Her whole family found out at the same time. Like the entire family was diagnosed with autism at the same time, and that was fascinating to me, and that's what the conversation was about. But apparently, she hasn't written anything new since then, or if she has, it's not on her website yet. So I think we were going to talk about the same book that we talked about last time, a series from the fourth in the series for Calum Walker, but she's not here, which is also puzzling. Like, I don't know how this works. People put themselves on the show. I send them the links. Maybe I should contact Mickey and say, is she trying to get on the show? What's going on? Bob didn't have any problem with getting the link, right?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yes, you do. He was just here. He obviously got the link.
Yeah, but I don't know. He didn't have a problem with it and overcame it.
Oh, that's true. No, I know, because he sent me an email immediately after I sent it to him. Got it. Thanks. Look forward to it. So why wouldn't she get it anyway? It's not gonna be a big deal, right? It's not a big deal.
Yeah, sure. So Heavy Kev, if you want, let us know. We can send you a link. I can send you a link.
Yeah, or any other day this week if you want to schedule, because because all the rappers are gone now. Now I just talk about that for a second, because this guy, I don't want to say his name because that would no need. I'm not trying to shame him, but he called me up to argue with me. Like, why did you put that I don't approve of your program? I said, well, you didn't approve of the program. You told me that's not cool. What I'm doing is hurting your artists and blah, blah, blah. And why? But then he told me he had already canceled them all. So I go into Calendly to take them out of the calendar, and it makes you put in a reason for it. And I just said, so-and-so doesn't approve of the show. He calls me up and says, they're all the same. Why don't I approve of the show? I'm like, well, why don't you? I helped out. I thought I was helping out. And the earlier people you had on the program enjoyed being on the program. They went along with it. This one guy who doesn't even know who he is, who's apparently stealing somebody else's identity, doesn't have the balls to say, hey, you got the wrong guy. I must have sent you the wrong link. I'm sorry. Hey, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just like, can't you just admit being wrong? I mean, I didn't do anything wrong here. I'm trying to help your guy out. I'm playing the link he sent me, and all he's giving me is yep and nope. What am I supposed to do? And I'm not supposed to put in that you don't approve? Well, that's not cool. You're hurting my artist. Sounds like you don't approve. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, because I was there, Matt. I was there. I know what my eyes and ears heard and saw. Not that in order, though. I think my eyes saw it first, then my ears heard it like a fraction of a second later.
Yep. Nope.
So
have you done? Yeah. Hey, how are you still in touch with L.A. Reid? Well, not that much. Not that much. You never fucking met him. How about that? Saying I don't know what the fuck.
So you on Bieber's label? You're on Bieber's label.
Yeah. You either say no, man, that's not me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How about that? Instead of yep, nope. I don't know. It's just I'm not gonna let this go. It's fucking a weekend has passed, and I'm still fucking upset about it. I don't know how people just let shit go. I need to learn how to just let shit go. But anyway, Kev, if you want to be on Tuesday, because I'm out of guests now for this week. So Elizabeth asked if I'm doing a show on New Year's Day. I didn't even think about it. I don't know why. Nobody's going to be listening on New Year's Day. People, we hung over. Right? Yeah. It's hungover Thursday. Yeah. So, but I just think that cognitive dissonance thing is a good subject to kind of explore, like how people get to that point where they get so emotionally invested in wanting the conspiracy theory to be true that anybody who presents facts that show them that conspiracy theory is silly, they become the devil. I got to attack you for, they were saying some really fucking crazy shit about him. Like, these are his own people, his loyal followers. And man, when I tell you, like, his chat room is it goes by so fast that you can't even keep up with it. Like, he's getting 10,000 comments per hour. Like, that's how fast it's flying by. And they're all negative. I mean, his own people saying, "You're dead, you're evil, why are you doing this?" I'm just presenting facts here. This guy, and there were people actually going out of their way to defend a guy who punched a pregnant woman in the face and admitted to punching him. I mean, this guy was a bad guy, this Mitch Snow guy, whose real name wasn't Mitch Snow.
Look, at least he punched her in the face. I punched my sister in the stomach at age, and she was 6 months pregnant.
Yeah. What was that about? Curious about? I know the 6 months pregnant, but he punched a woman in the face. He admitted to it. He said that she was. Every single time. Now there are like many women who have orders of protection against him. He claimed he was the victim in everyone. Now this guy also claimed to have been a Green Beret. This just to make sense. So you're a Green Beret, but you end up getting beat up by women constantly. Every woman you get with is beating you up. And you're the victim here. Like,
well, because in the Green Beret, you're not taught how to defend yourself against women. You're taught how to defend yourself against a guy with a knife, a guy with a gun, a guy with a hand grenade, a guy with a missile launcher. But then a woman attacks you. You're like, whoa! All she has is nails and teeth and insults. I don't know what to do. And small dick jokes. I don't know how to defend myself against a small dick joke. I don't know, and so.
I think I gave you because the other day I had two women. One was an old lady with one eye, and the other was I'd say a diminutive woman who claimed to have a bigger dick than me. And I said, well, that might explain why you're so aggressive. But my defense was to walk away. That seems like pretty good. I mean, that's pretty interesting.
Until some old guy hits you in the back of the head and goes, "Motherfucker, that's not the one." Stupid motherfucker. No, stupid. Whatever they call you.
All those bald guys look alike. I'm thinking there's a bald guy out there who deserves a punch in the head, and he got away with it, which is really unjust.
Or there's like 5 other bald guys that got hit in the back of the head. That's not him either. I told you he was black.
And where is Stop and Shop security to protect all bald guys from nut jobs like this? But the other court documents, how he defend themselves. This one court document said this woman said that he grabbed her and pushed her into the wall face first, and then started beating her with a laundry basket. I'm sure that wasn't
a plastic laundry basket or a cloth one, or the cloth with the wire reinforcement.
Not in the court documents, but I was assuming a plastic one because that was the only.
Yeah, we would all assume that, but we have a laundry basket. Actually, I think it's called technically. I think it's a hamper.
Well, according to the Slaptail, I know Slaptail's being funny here. Where was he supposed to punch her? The correct answer is Alabama. So is that. But, this guy, people were defending him because they want his conspiracy. And even his conspiracy theory that Erica Kirk met with the head of security on an Air Force base, that doesn't prove anything about, or just because he saw, they could have been having a hoochie coochie moment. She could have been cheating on, or it could have never happened. There's no proof that he was there, they were there, any of this stuff other than his word. And that's what Valhalla VFT was saying, is that all I'm saying here is the only only indication that she and the head of security were there at all is this guy saying, "Take my word for it." There's no corroborating evidence of it. This is a guy who's saying, all you have is my word. And then if you look at his history, his word means nothing. He's a pathological liar. He's said all these kinds of things over many years, proven to be a pathological liar and a con man. And he's raised $140,000 off of this con so far. People are giving him money.
That's
to
good money.
feed
That's good money.
Fucking A.
I'm almost envious. I can't even make that money honestly, and to make it off of a lie.
Scamming seems to be the perfect, back in the early 90s, they were saying, become a webmaster. This is the ideal profession to be in when in the future. Now, I think the ideal profession seems to be scammer. But his whole point was that if all your evidence is based on this guy, take my word for it, and then you look at his word is no good for anything. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's a wife beater. Nobody's looking to marry him. Credibility matters. Again, eyewitness testimony, even from a very honest person, eyewitness testimony is suspect. If you get eyewitness testimony and that's your complete case from a guy who's known to be a pathological liar, you could just throw that out and say, forget about it. We need some real proof. And even Candace Owens said, I have no proof that this even happened. But this guy had a history of going on different podcasts and saying different things, different cons over the years, 30 years of pathological lying. Said he was a medical retired from the Army. That wasn't true. He was discharged. None of this stuff makes sense. So
in a way, I'm kind of lucky because that could have been one of my brothers had he not died in the 90s, because he was a pathological liar, and he was charismatic enough that he could weasel his way onto shows and stuff like that. He was very charming. He was a very charming liar.
Yeah.
And even when you caught him in the lie, he was so charming that he could almost disarm you so that you would forgive the lie.
Yeah.
He was that good. I'm glad he's dead, because he would ruin things for me.
I'm glad he's dead. Well, at least you're not glad.
Well, I am. Look.
Yeah, but you're not glad he got ass raped in prison. That's
well.
I don't
think he ever made it. As far as I know, he never made it to prison. He was in the military.
Well, Kev says cognitive dissonance makes a lot of money from UFO stuff. Yeah, and the QAnon people, I mean, all these people made money off that. Interesting thing, I saw that guy Spidey, the behavioral arts guy, the body language guy, and he was doing the Trump alleged shooting, the Butler thing, and they were showing the crowd behind him, and in the crowd you see, without a doubt, this is absolute. And he just said this funny looking guy in a fedora. The funny looking guy in the fedora he is mentioning was the guy who they claimed to be JFK Jr. The QAnon people were swearing was JFK Jr. He is second row at that Trump Butler shooting, and nobody ever even caught that before. I didn't catch it until last night when they were going through the crowd, because they were analyzing this woman who was supposedly coordinated somehow with this thing. She knew what was going on, according to the conspiracy theories and all this stuff. But I caught that guy, and I was like, wow, how does nobody notice before that JFK Jr., and he doesn't look anything like JFK Jr., that fedora looking guy, is showing up right behind. And that's a weird kind of, like, this guy is, he's everywhere. He's like, what was that? Zelig, the Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, I was, if I were to start another band, I mean, I'd like to, not to disrespect Urban Poet Society, but if I were to start another band, I would call it Cognitive Dissonance. And that would cover other people's songs. And when they try to sue me and go, that's our song, and go like, I don't know that's your song.
I don't know.
I would use cognitive dissonance to say, are you sure that's your song?
You must be gay and your wife's a stripper. What does that mean?
Is his wife a stripper? Is his wife a stripper?
No, his wife isn't a stripper. His wife was a bookmaker. And a
Could
bookkeeper.
she have been a stripper and a bookmaker?
Yeah, well, he did say at one time she did work as a bookkeeper for a strip club. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? And none of that is relevant. This guy.
It is. If the insult is going to be the insults, to me, insults matter. Are they based on fact, or is just it's like if I were arguing with a woman, and she were to say something like, I don't know, get out of my life, you little dick bastard. I would be like, okay, obviously you slept with somebody else, not me, but then again, it's comparison, it's comparative also, because, if she's used to having, let's say, a 12-inch thing, then yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, sure. I'm little. But if she's used to, like 3 or 4 inches, like, no, you got the wrong guy. So the insult matter. How truthful is it? It makes a difference.
Just trying to. I lost some respect for this Valhalla guy, and and maybe Slaptail can back me up on this, or at least set me straight if I'm not right about this. Now, this guy Valhalla VT, he was going on. First of all, in this analysis of this Mitch Snow guy, he said this guy is not medically retired. I am 100% medically retired from the military, from the Green Berets, because of shoulder damage and all the back damage that I've had. And then now to me, I looked this up too. If you're medically retired, you do get a benefit package, and
right.
you do receive money from that. Now, consider the fact that this guy, in his intro, and he sponsors barbell pants, and you can work out with him, and then you see him bench pressing 400 pounds, and you see him with the heavy ball thing, and you see him doing the bike stuff and doing pull-ups and all this stuff. He's medically retired, claiming he's too damaged to serve, continue serving or whatever, medically retired, and gets his package. He's taking money from the military, yet he's working out like a beast. That doesn't make sense. Like,
I'm just gonna. I don't know this Valhalla guy, and I'm not sure I would like him if I did. But let's just say he's heavily medicated, so when he's got the medicine, he can live without pain. But to serve in the military, you can't have the painkillers. You have to be able to do those things without the painkillers, because you have to be clear-headed to fire a gun for some reason.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying. I don't know. And do we know that that's actually 400 pounds? Do we? No.
Maybe Slaptail can help us out on this. But the reason I bring this up is because the very next video, he did a thing about this Medicare fraud in Minneapolis or Minnesota somewhere, Tim Walz and Omar or whatever. Yeah. And there's a Medicare fraud, and all these millions of dollars of people just abusing our tax dollars and stealing money from us. And I'm like, this is not,
Where were they when the senator from Florida, Mr. Raptor, that was doing that before he became governor?
Rick Scott, right?
Yeah. Before he became governor, that was his gig. That's what he did. Where were they then?
Yeah. But it seems to me, a guy who claims he's medically retired and is taking money from the government, and is still taking money from the government, and is still able to work out like a beast and show off. I mean, he's like, this is part of his persona now. Is, look how strong I am. I can bench press 450 pounds. It doesn't seem like this guy is medically should be on a medical thing for life and taking money from the government. But there he is in this first video bragging about how I am this 100%.
Now, do we know that he hasn't recovered and he's no longer getting the money from the government? I don't know.
I don't.
Because it's possible that he did get a discharge. Like in the case of my brother, he got discharged because he lost a testicle. I don't know where he lost it, but he lost a testicle. And he got a medical discharge.
Bob Labe found it, because Bob Labe was talking about how he had 3 balls. Maybe he found your brothers on the golf course where your stepfather.
But he lost his in Germany. So
they don't play a lot of golf in Germany.
So my brother got a discharge with 1 testicle, and it never grew back. So
I find it hard to discharge with just 1 testicle. I have to have both testicles when I'm discharging. Anyway,
I can see the point. I can see your point.
Yeah,
but I don't want to see your point too close, because it might get in my eye. I don't want it too close to my face. No.
All right.
Keep it out of my face.
So it looks like J.M. Shaw is not going to show up. I would say that's a fair guess, right? Where are we in the timeline? Yeah,
10:39.
She was supposed to be here like a long time ago, but she's in a country called Canadiadia or something. I'm not exactly sure where this Canadiadia.
She may have had trouble getting her signal across the border. They probably had to put a tariff on it. There's probably
I'm
a
not
90%
sure.
tariff on her signal.
Where is this Canadiadia located? I don't know. Canadian or something.
I've seen it in nature films because I know they have like moose and mounties or mounted moose. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
All right. Yeah. So that's all I really had to say today. I don't really, and we have no guests for the rest of the week. So we're gonna have Kev get on it. Get ready. Get prepared and come on.
Put your pants on, Kevin.
Not today.
Kev, put your pants on.
We're halfway done anyway. We don't want to start it. Do we? I don't know.
Look, the invitation went out like 20 minutes ago. So yeah, at the time that we sent it, at the time that I invited him, it would have been plenty of time because it was 10:25 when he. Yeah, I sent out the invitation at 10:18.
Yeah. I didn't even know you sent out an invitation.
Well, not an invitation. No, I sent. I mean, an invite, but it says, "Thanks, Kevin. You want to come on the show?"
Oh, yeah. Have you spoken to Ron Kane recently?
Not since last Monday.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he's okay. I mean, I think he was on the show Wednesday.
I'm not in that case, so Wednesday then.
But we missed him on Friday. I'm just hoping he's okay because I would kind of halfway expecting he might show up here today. He wasn't here Friday. I'm just a little concerned. Not that there's anything I could do about it if he's having problems anyway, right?
I just assumed that he didn't feel like coming, or he's dealing with mom issues.
Yeah, that's what my assumption is too, and that's what I mean concerned. Like rough time, no matter what your relationship with your parents, mine wasn't great with my mother, but when she passed, it was still pretty devastating for me.
Oh, then there's something wrong with me. I wasn't devastated.
I don't know.
My brother was inconsolable.
Really?
Yeah.
Inconsolable. I was inconsolable because I was at work when I got the call. My brother came up from North Carolina, and we hadn't been speaking for a couple of months at that point because of some other shit. Because I had to go down there and rescue her from his house because his ex-wife was abusing my mom. So that's probably the reason. But then he showed up here, and he was hospicing her while I was at work, and he called me at noon and said she was gone. And I'm telling you, man, even though my relationship with my mother was really just not normal. Now we were angry at each other all the time. When she passed, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was inconsolable. But I don't know if I told you this. On Christmas Day, while I'm at the VA, I got a text from my brother saying he missed me and all this stuff. And I just texted him back. I said, I love you, brother, but you're standing with people who tried to kill me, and you're basically on their side. I can't. Even though I love you, I can't speak to you. I can't. I mean, how do you say, "Yeah, I love you, I miss you," but I'm with the fucking people who fucking tried to kill you and deport you. I love those people. I mean, how do you reconcile that? I didn't hear back from them, and I don't expect to hear back from them. But it's just weird. People, expressing, "I miss you, man." Yeah, you miss me, but you have no problem supporting the people who want to fucking kill me, literally want to kill me or try to deport me. It's just so I think some of these people are starting to take account of how different we are in terms of our relationships with people and the people who, I saw a guy at pizza place the other day who used to be a friend, a MAGA friend, and he's kind of gave me a scowl, not like a. And I laughed at him. I said, there was a time when we were really close friends. Yeah, I said, do you have any other friends who you are no longer you once close with, who you're not talking to or really hate like you hate me now? He said, oh yeah, lots. I said, so here's the bottom line. You traded your love for Donald Trump, your affection for Donald Trump, who you don't even met. You know, he wouldn't waste spit on you. You traded all your friends for him. How's that for winning? You feel like you're winning because all these people you were once close with now, you just admitted, lots of them. You hate them, not talking to them.
Well, if he needs to move, if you ever need somebody to help him move, he can call Donald Trump and Donald can help him move.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's how you know your real friends. Your real friends will be there to help you move. When you got to pack up shit and move and load a truck and then unload it, those are your real friends.
Honestly, I'm that guy. I am always that guy. And these people know the people, I mean, almost whenever they needed anything, they'd call me. I would be the first call. Oh, yeah, Matt's a willing helper. He's a guy who'll help us out. Now, and not to say this to kind of pump myself. And the whole point is we never had this kind of division before. It started when people, and I'm not saying you have to I would never say you have to be a Democrat. I'm not saying you have to be a liberal. I'm not saying you have to endorse anything other than what you believe in. I'm just saying you could pick a decent person to be the head of your party, the head of the country. He was not the only choice, even though he told you, I am the only one who can fix these things. And then you decided, yeah, I love him more than I love anybody else in my life, and anybody who disagrees with him, I'm going to cut out of my life. Hello. This never happened with anybody else before. And if you can't see that is the root cause of the division in America right now, why we hate each other, there's one reason alone: Donald Trump. And if you can't fathom that, then this is cognitive dissonance on display in America right now. So yeah, I'll do anything for Uncle Daddy diaper dementia. Anyway, so I'm out of stuff to talk about. How's life for you? Are you now? You're not going to do trivia night on New Year's Eve, are you?
No trivia on and I'm having man. Okay, the place that we do the trivia, they used to do comedy there, and they stopped doing it. I don't know why they stopped, but I reached out to them and said, you used to do comedy here. They still have bands every Friday and Saturday night. They still have bands, and Thursday night used to do comedy. And so I reached out and I said, well, I'd like to produce a comedy show here on Thursday. And they said, well, we're actually going to start back up, and and they said we have a show with and they mentioned the guy's name, a guy who hates me, but he used to be the one who ran the comedy there. It was his thing. And so I was trying to be respectful and let him know that I was interested in producing a comedy show there, and I was not trying to step on his toes. So I sent him a text to let him know that. He did not respond. But that's not unusual because he doesn't exactly like me.
Exactly.
So, right. So, but I reached out to him. I did the honorable thing. I reached out to him. And so when he didn't reach back, I gave him a couple of weeks. I went to the club itself, the venue itself, and I said, I'm interested in putting a show here, producing a show here. And so they put me in contact with the guy who does that. He takes my phone number because I'll call you tomorrow. He goes, and we start, he says, want to know. He put out feelers, he says, we'll talk tomorrow. I said, okay, because it was at the end of the night. They were closing up and we were leaving, So I can understand not wanting to conduct new business. The next day he didn't call. So I, talked to him again in person. The first time I talked to him was in person. I would talk to him in person again. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to do this. And he goes, so what night? I said, well, I know you're doing bands on Fridays and Saturdays, so I'd like to do it, Thursday night, a Thursday night thing. And he goes, great. And so I, again, gave him my number. And not only that, and I don't have any more, I do, but when I do shows that are significant, I have decks of cards. with the flyer from that show on the back of the deck of the cards. So I gave him one of those decks of cards, with my number on it and stuff. And so he goes, so he didn't call again. So then I called him at work, and then he calls me back, but he doesn't realize who he's calling. He's just returning all of the calls. And so he goes, man, I'm really sorry. I want to do this. And he doesn't call me back that day. He goes, I'll call you in a couple of hours. And he does not call me back. So I'm getting really annoyed because our first encounter was so positive that I reached out to the other comics on the show and I said, I have an in with this venue, and literally only thing he said was we need to pick a date. I mean, not the only thing, but after our discussion, we talked for like 15, 20 minutes. That's where we left it off. We'd agreed on the ticket prices. We'd agreed on who was handling the advertising, all that stuff. So it's just a matter of picking a date. Okay, no sweat. And I understand to pick a date, you want to sit in front of your calendar, I sit in front of my calendar, nothing. And so now I'm getting a little bit perturbed, at this guy. But I don't want to get so perturbed that I blow the opportunity. I mean, there was another venue that said they wanted to do it, but they've never had comedy. And they're not set up quite as well as this place. This place, it's set up better. The physical setup is better. They have an actual stage. This other place, they have a corner where you would do the show.
I've seen a lot of that lately. And you know what? I don't mind that because the videos I'm seeing of people doing this in a bar, like in front of a window on the floor and in between tables, they're still able to put on a comedy. They bring a little PA system, their own PA system. It's
right.
There's not one there. Yeah.
Now I've done quite a few shows like that. Believe me, I've headlined a lot of shows where I'm on a makeshift stage in front of the window which faces the road, and people are walking by, and they're watching me do comedy. I've had, but again, I'm not a big name, so I've headlined dozens of places like that. That's not the problem. The thing is, this is a show I was trying to produce, and I wanted to be repeatable. So I was a regular place. I wanted a regular venue so I could produce these shows and not have to come out of pocket to rent a venue all the time.
Hey, hello, JM. Hey, JM is in the Instagram feed right now. I don't know if she can hear me, but I just got an email from her. She apparently there's a mix-up. She thought she was on next Monday, and she will be on next Monday. Now I'm just moving her to next Monday, but she thought, just to clarify, I'm on January 5th, according to my Calendly. She was put on for today, but that's fine. We didn't have somebody on January 5th anyway, so now we do. She'll be here January 5th.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. But at least this comedian, this is the thing that would have been if I were you in this position, the guy would have been yelling at me like, I did something wrong, it's all your fault, and then never say I'm sorry to me. This guy owes you an apology. Not according to Slaptail anyway. We don't have to respond to everyone who message or text us as busy as producers, entertainers. Not that I'm famous, but a lot of folks message me and I don't have time to reply. I reply to almost everybody. Maybe that's my fault. I should just ignore people. Yep.
Yeah, and then the thing is, again, since he and I had talked twice in person, and the only thing left for us to do, and we actually negotiating details, like who would do the advertising stuff. So to me, it's a little bit further along than me just doing a cold email that he didn't respond to. That I get a lot,
But at least he didn't say, "Well, it's your fault. You screwed up, man." Like that's what would have happened to me. Like I'm getting not only are people not apologizing to me, they're actually blaming me for doing something I didn't do. Like that music producer saying, "Oh, I'm playing the wrong music." I'm playing the music your guy sent me. He said it was his. And the other part of this whole thing, and I'm sorry to keep harping on this, not really sorry. I'm lying there. I'm not sorry. I'm just, I can't let it go. It's this guy, he adopted and now how would I know this? That this very successful rapper, Khalil, very successful. I don't know how Ron would be able to, affirm that. But this guy who's got millions of followers, he took his name and then put his name behind it. So it's like if I went, I'm Jimmy Page, Matt Napo. Right? Like, what do you mean? Why did you? That is just so weird to steal somebody's a very famous, successful guy, put his name in front of your name, and then say, and then send people links to the actual Jimmy Page's stuff and say, "Well, I don't know why you're paying Jimmy Page's. Why are you doing that? Oh, are you still with Led Zeppelin? Yep. I mean,
are you still feuding? Are you still feuding with Robert Plant? Kinda, yeah.
It's so bizarre. I mean, this whole thing that happened Friday, I still can't wrap my head around it. As annoyed as I am extremely puzzled by. Is there anything between it? Obviously, he had enough money to go to Jamaica for the winter.
Do we know that he was in Jamaica and not Jamaica, Queens?
No? Maybe he was in Jamaica, Queens. I didn't even think of that. But he did say yep, yep, and nope. I don't know, but again, why to get angry at me for him playing the link he sent me? Does he not know who he really is? Is that schizophrenia? I don't know. It's very weird. Anyway, yeah. So yesterday in the news, the Zelensky thing, and apparently Trump isn't even shy about this anymore. That he waits for Putin to call him and tell him exactly what to say, and then repeats the Russian propaganda line for line that Putin told him to say, and he's not even trying to hide that anymore.
No,
but it's all a hoax, a Democratic hoax, this Russia hoax. Well, it doesn't seem so hoaxy when you kind of admit that you're taking dictation. Yes, Phil.
The last time they had, it was like they received I think it's like I'm gonna say like 20 something talking points or PowerPoints that they from Russia, and it was in Russian. It was in Russian. They had to translate it to English, and they narrowed it down to like 18 points that they were presenting to Zelensky. If Zelensky takes any deal from Trump at all, they're going to get fucked. Ukraine's going to get fucked.
I'm a little disappointed in Zelensky because Trump keeps saying that he goes, he recites a Putin talking point and then looks at Zelensky and says, right? And Zelensky just keeps his mouth shut. Like, if that were me, what I would probably, are you fucking kidding me? Where is the outrage from Zelensky? I know what does he need? Money? Whatever he needs. Why even bother meeting with Trump at this point? Just fight the war, try to win, and say, fuck you, Trump. I don't need. Now he's
I think because in Zelensky's case, it could be worse because Trump could actually just start really, really fucking Ukraine over and giving arms to Russia. Sharing intelligence with Russia. Because we're still part of NATO. We may still be getting intelligence from NATO, from Russia, from Europe, from the Europeans. It's possible. I mean, now the Europeans stopped sharing intelligence with us regarding to the Pacific because we started bombing boats. And they're like, we don't want to have part of that. So we're not sharing that intelligence with you anymore.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Why would, at this point, if you were Europe, anybody in Europe or NATO or any of this, why would you even trust the United States at all? It doesn't, it doesn't seem to make sense. I would not be. By the way, I keep this to yourself. You know what? I might give him false information just to kind of.
I mean, they knew from the first administration. They Israel. He was giving Israel secrets to Russia,
right?
And Russia was allied with Iran. It's like, why would he do that? Why would anybody trust the Trump administration? The thing is, they're trying to work with our intelligence agencies, hoping that our intelligence agencies, I guess, can share stuff back and forth and keep Trump out of the loop.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen when the institutional people who do the job for the sake of the job have been replaced with loyalists.
Yeah. I know our audience doesn't give a shit about this stuff, but I am more than just a little interested in it. Now, Netanyahu threatened Ireland and Norway if they recognize the Palestinian state, like a two-state thing in Israel, that he's going to retaliate against Ireland and Norway. I'm not sure that would go over. If Israel bombed Ireland,
I don't think they can bomb Ireland or Norway.
Why not?
They got too much space to cover. Something somewhere will be intercepted long before it got there.
Yeah,
we're talking NATO countries. NATO countries. They'd have to. Their missiles would have to cross other NATO countries to hit them.
I hear what you're saying, and that kind of crossed my mind. But Ireland.
And why would he do that? That would be an Article 5. They would invoke Article 5 almost instantly. Attack on one is attack on all.
Yeah. No, I hear this is stop calling me. Somebody's calling me about a pool. I got rid of my pool. I
thought that was the betting pool they were calling you about now. They want to. This is a different pool. This is a pool about the deer. You know what kind of deer?
They want to solar power my pool. We filled in the pool. My wife was going to make this. This was a project from like 7 years ago. She was going to make it one of those natural habitat pools. Do away with the actual
chlorine stuff and salt water.
Yeah, and make it like a natural habitat pond, human-made pond. And she never finished that. But we destroyed a perfectly good pool in the process. But somebody trying to sell me solar panels to power my pool that I don't have anymore. But Ireland is still part of Great Britain, right? And so what are you're really threatening Great Britain, and it doesn't seem like a good move why, if he can't follow through, as you say, and I question that too, like how the hell would he even bomb Ireland if he could? But
like I said, even if he was talking about using like the cell phone things like they did with Hamas, with the exploding cell phones and pagers. Right. Israel aren't, Norway, they're not full of a bunch of terrorists who's trying to avoid detection by using pagers.
Right. Well, why would he, if he can't follow through on it, why even make that bluff, that empty threat? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
It doesn't make sense to me, no. No, unless Norway gets their olives from Israel.
And that's another thing. Like, what do you care what Norway recognized? It's not like they're going to be doing.
And they're not the first country that other countries have already done it.
Right.
It's not like no countries have done it and they'd be the first.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they really want peace. I mean, he
doesn't want peace, because if he has peace, then he's out of office.
Steven says he loves Norway. When have you been to Norway?
No way.
No way.
No way he's been to Norway.
He does want peace. Let me retract he wants peace he wants to eliminate everybody who's against him, everybody who might be resistant to his way or the highway. And in the same sense that he says, well, Israel loves Christians, but then we see videos of Israelis just beating the hell out of Christians and spitting on them and all this stuff. I think he just wants to make it a completely Jewish state. And I'm trying not to sound like an anti-Semite, because I'm not. I'm not against the Jewish people. I'm not even against Israel being a Jewish state. I'm against the ruler that they're choosing, the president, prime minister that they've chosen. I think he's a fucking nut job. Just like in America, I'm not against America. I'm against our president and his insane, self-serving, egotistical narcissism, whatever you want to call it. But that doesn't mean I'm against the country or the people in the country. And I'm not against Jewish people at all. I love Jewish people. I don't like the government under Netanyahu in Israel. I think they've had some good leaders in the past, and there was a time when you had sensible people running Israel that you could definitely get behind them and say we have to support them. Not in the current moment, though. You want to come on, Stephen? We got a few minutes. Go ahead, Zita. Can you send them a link? I'll talk while you. Stephen, the sitcom Ortiz wants to come on and say hello. He wants to yell at me for mentioning the Dave Landau in that little text message the other day. Because I was just being funny, but he didn't find it funny. He wants to kick my ass now. He told me to sit down and fight like a man. He said, basically said I dinged his car. You know what? That girl doesn't even know her own runners on her own car. She doesn't know anything about the car she's driving. You dinged my door. You got a 10-inch rubber runner out there. It's literally physically impossible to ding your door. Then she points like, see, you hit me there. It's impossible to hit you there. Okay? Hello? How about my apology now? No, fuck you. I got a bigger dick than you.
Stephen, I sent you the link for today's show to your Facebook Messenger account.
All right.
Now I have a Facebook Messenger account question for people out there. My Facebook Messenger keeps sending me old messages like they're new. And I mean, some of them are like...
Speaking of old messages that seem like they're new, Stephen is with us now.
Hello.
Go ahead, continue. Yeah, I get the same thing with Facebook. I'm getting old messages like they're refurbished. I'm getting stuff in unread that keep popping up like you got a notification.
I'm getting stuff like they're unread and I'm like, what the fuck is this? and the only thing I can do is blame Stephen.
That's fair. That's fair.
You mean Dave?
Hey, come on now.
Come on, who? You?
I mean, whoever you want, really. I write original.
Not Tammy. Not Tammy. Not Tammy. Come on.
What's up, guys?
Nothing. What's up with you? Are you working today? You're working?
Yeah, I'm working. I'm on lunch, but
Now, were you upset? Were you upset to find out that John's daughter is shooting at your face? Were you upset to learn that?
No, I mean,
your face for target practice.
I'd rather, this opens the door.
I haven't heard about this. What is this? What is this I'm hearing about now? Should I?
Yeah, John's daughter was doing target practice, and she was shooting at a picture of Stephen's head.
Is this because? No, I don't want to go there. But why? What did you do to her that made her angry at you?
I don't know. I blame GD for this one.
A lot of blame going around here. Nobody ever says they're sorry. Sorry.
If I knew what I did, I would say sorry. I don't know.
I'm not saying you should say sorry. I'm saying she should say sorry to you for shooting at your face.
Well, the thing is, apparently she's a terrible aim because there's no holes in the target.
Or in
the target looked like it was just printed off the computer and hung there. I mean, she did not hit any, not once, unless this was before. Unless this was a before picture, and John is waiting to show the after picture later.
So
maybe,
Stephen, are you still friends with Justin Bieber? The answer is yep or nope.
I was never friends with Justin Bieber.
That's way too many words. Yep or no?
No.
All right. L.A. Reid, are you still keep in touch with him?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So have you done many podcasts?
I've done a few.
You got a new. You started a new podcast, right?
I did, the one with my brother. Yes, sir.
Is it? Have you quit it yet?
No.
Whoa!
It's called Friendship Uncensored, or
it's called the Friends Uncensored podcast. Yes, sir.
The FU podcast.
I like it. FU. Now, how many episodes have you put out? One.
No, we've done 3. We're on a bye week right now for holidays because we both are traveling during the holidays, so we're going to be recording next week.
You're saying after y'all had the show with me, you went on hiatus?
No, not on hiatus. Just skipped a week for the holidays was all.
Wait,
so we have the next 4 episodes planned out. So
you did a show with GD, and I'm just hearing about it now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he never did put it out there. Nobody's ever seen it. It hasn't been made public. It's
actually your episode has the most views, and we got the most monetization off of your episode.
Okay.
What? How'd you get monetized already? You're just starting out. You have to have 1,000
So
hours.
we use Spreaker. Not off YouTube. We've made $2 off of podcast sources, not YouTube. Yeah. So like Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, kind of all those. Yeah.
Wow.
So there are people just probably amazed I didn't know that I was so ignorant. I can't believe this guy's he knows nothing about anything.
Well, so that, and then it does have the most views on YouTube of the 3 episodes so far, and then the clips from your episode are the most popular so far.
So how long till you quit?
The goal's not to.
The goal. The goal.
The goal is not to.
We should go to betonanything.eu and put in 4 episodes. It will be the point where he quits, right? You have 3 out now?
We have 3 out. We have the next 4 planned. So yeah.
4 planned.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I think and then
and then I'm booking comedy gigs again. So I've got some shows coming up. So yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Getting the ball rolling.
Now your reception's a lot better this time. Usually you like in and out. The last few times you were in and out. So are you sitting in a different chair, or what's different? Because now I'm seeing people coming in and out, using the bathroom, not washing their hands. No.
Oh, you work at a diner, in other words?
Waffle House.
I mean, is that a bathroom? Is that the bathroom behind you?
That's a bathroom right there.
I haven't heard a flush. Does anybody bother flushing? I haven't heard one flush.
That guy went in and used the bathroom and came out so fast. There's no way he could have washed his hands.
Well, he did. I did hear him wash his hands. We have a urinal in there and a toilet. So urinal's real quiet.
This is why you, after you touch money, you should always wash your hands, because these people in the bank, they're touching their privates, they're wiping their ass, and they're not washing their hands.
And they're going in the bathroom, doing a line of cocaine with the $100 bill and putting it back in the cash drawer.
Why can't you do cocaine with a $1 bill? Why?
Because cocaine's not a cheap man's drug.
It tastes different.
Yeah, when you do it in a 1, you feel shame, but when you do it with 100, you feel powerful.
Right.
I don't think. No, YouTube, we are not.
And if you do it with a
we're not
blank
glorifying.
Check, if you do it with a blank check, it's amazing.
I should do
it's true.
A check for $38,000.
Actually, the biggest check I've held in my hand so far was for $780,000. That would have been a nice one to do some coke with. Yeah.
Was that for you or the bank?
That was a trust payout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is that your money or someone else's money.
Oh, not my money. No.
I gotta talk about this. And I'm probably gonna get some people, including me, in trouble here.
Whoa! Don't be getting me in trouble, man.
No, you won't. You won't get.
Look, I just got in good graces with L.A. Reid and Justin Bieber. Don't be fucking that up.
Did you ever meet Diddy?
Did I? Did I meet Diddy?
No, Diddy. Diddy, not did I?
Did I?
I think you got it mixed up with Dido.
I did
Diddy Dido.
I did work with Deadeye.
All right.
And I had Pink Eye once. But Diddy?
No, Steven was just a baby at the time, so he probably doesn't. He wasn't a baby. He was like 10. But GD might remember the Enron scandal. You remember the Enron scandal, GD?
Yes, I can't remember all of the details, but yes,
I do.
Remember. Yes.
All right. The guy who set off that whole investigation because he supposedly committed suicide was somebody I grew up with and somebody I knew pretty well. And I had a conversation with somebody who was pretty much his best friend growing up on Saturday. Somebody I hadn't talked to in many years. He's in the financial markets, and we were talking about it. And he said to me, The guy whose name is Cliff Baxter, and if you go through the annals of Enron history, Cliff Baxter's suicide is the one that kind of escalated this into a federal case, and they started looking into it. According to this guy who's very close to him, Cliff Baxter did not kill himself. He was murdered in his shower, put in his car and staged for the Houston police to find him, which is unsettling. And the first time I'd heard anything about that, but I did question, because having known Cliff for a long time, this was not a guy I could picture in my mind ever committing suicide. Like, he would always think he was going to beat people. He was smarter than everybody. He was going to come out on top of this. But apparently, this is why I'm bringing this up now, because you guys, you're talking about money and all this stuff. Apparently, he was not comfortable with all the crime and corruption going on. And one of the deals, he was supposed to go to Oregon and talk to a power company in Oregon and bribe them about becoming part of Enron. And he was supposed to bring them $2.2 billion in cash. I was like, how is that even possible to carry $2.2 billion in cash with you? Does that sound impossible, to carry $2.2 billion?
Well, the military used to do it, but the military used to use that kind of money to bribe warlords in Afghanistan and also in Iraq. They had truckloads of pallets of money.
Right.
Well, also pre 9/11, individuals could withdraw and carry significantly more amounts of cash than you can now.
But that's to GD's point. It's pallets of money. You're not carrying that with you. That's a truck.
Well,
right?
I don't know. $2 million. I mean, it's a lot of money. You could fit that. You could fit that in a duffel bag.
$2 billion.
No, not billions.
Not billion, million.
Yeah,
you could.
He said
it's
$2 billion.
$2.2 billion.
Billion. Okay, no, that's a truck. Yeah, that'd be a truck.
That's my point. Like, how do you don't get on a plane from Houston to Portland?
Well, a stack of because a stack of 10 grand is like that.
Unless
a million's going to be.
The only thing I think is if it's cash, it's not like cash with him, like cash on delivery. It's like cash, like, and they put the money in, let's say, an offshore account. So it's cash. It's not like stocks and bonds.
Right. No, that's what I questioned that. He said, no, it's $2 billion. $2 billion in cash? That's bigger than my house. And there's no way, even if you had like I don't even know what the highest bill they make anymore. And back in the day, I had a $5,000 bill back in the 1970s.
The largest bill I'd ever seen was a $10,000 bill.
Yeah,
the biggest now is 100. That's it.
Yeah, I heard. I don't remember. I had not seen one, but I remember hearing who's on it. Do you remember who's on it?
The $5,000 or $10,000 bill. I don't know.
The $100,000 bill. Do you know who's on it?
Trump.
No, they want to come out with a $250 Trump bill. Like $250 bill. That makes no sense. Why make it $5 if you're gonna? I mean, not that I want a bill with his picture on.
Well, I'm curious to see how this no penny situation is going to play out.
Oh,
because
I'm going to tell you right now. I've been to places. I've been to stores. I was in a CVS the other day, and the lady was paying for Christmas stocking stuffers with cash. And so what CVS did was they rounded down to the nearest nickel.
Now,
and she said, the lady says, that's nice of you guys because other people have been rounding up. And the cashier at CVS says, that doesn't even make sense. Why would they do that? She goes, I know, but that's what they're doing. They're rounding up.
So you're saying they rounded the price down or the total down?
The total. Once they got to the total, they rounded the total down to the nearest nickel.
Okay. So what I've been seeing been hearing from businesses is they are like, if it comes out to like $12.34, right? They'll take it down to $12.30, right? To avoid the pennies. And then if change is due back, they're rounding the change up. So for example, if you're due $12.37 back, they're going to give you $12.40 back instead.
Well, they wouldn't have to do that if they round it down from 1237 to 1235.
It's depending on the totals, and it's just depending on the different businesses. But either way, it's going to start hitting people. It's going to either start hitting the businesses, or it's going to start hitting the people in the pocketbooks. But either way, somebody's going to start taking a loss.
Well, that's kind of, I think we're going to have to stop doing cash at all, because it came up the other day at the gas station. I tried to stop the pump at $27. It went to $27.01. I went in, and the guy gave me the change. And I was like, well, if I know you're going to give me the dollar, and I'm going to steal a penny every single time I go.
Well, so pennies, I don't know how exactly they're phasing them out completely. So I know that the U.S. Bank is still sending pennies out little by little. They're not minting anymore. And I know that as we receive pennies in, we're not sending them back to U.S. Bank. We're being told to hold on to them.
Wow.
So
the nicest guy, also, AKA, this is one of these rappers who has like money names. The nicest guy, AKA Evil Ian, says, we've done the math, and rounding up and rounding down evens itself out. For who? Not for me. I'm only a round down guy.
But I do think that, Matt, I think you're kind of in the right ballpark, though, that this is definitely working towards the elimination of cash altogether.
Yeah,
because
that's biblical, my friend.
I don't see. I have a hard time saying that that's biblical prophecy BS. Just due to the fact that I feel like in the grand scheme of things, eventually money's just going to become obsolete.
You say you're not saying the Bible is BS, are you? Because I will kick your ass right. I will say I'm glad you're got ass raped in prison and hit the exit button on you.
I consider myself loosely Christian. I think the Bible as it sits today is mostly BS.
I'm glad you got ass raped in prison.
It's just been perverted by man over the last several hundred or 1,000 years. Like, it's just, I'm not saying the Bible in and of itself is wrong, but I'm saying the version that we have today is probably wrong. And
to be clear, just so people know, you are an expert in perverted men, are you not?
I would say I'm well versed.
Well versed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
And, let's just be clear. You've never said you're sorry to me.
For
anything?
I apologize, Matt.
Oh, hey, it does happen. You see how easy it is, people?
Okay, President Wilson is on the $100,000 bill.
That was a candy bar.
Right. 100 grand?
100 grand candy bar.
That's nuts.
I think there were nuts in it. I got truffles in mine. All right.
Truffles?
Yeah, truffles. I don't know if you've ever had truffles, but I think it's something humans are not supposed to eat. Matt truffles. Matre, feline. You know what? I think my wife gave me cat candy. It says feline mosafochachi. I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's truffles.
I don't know if you just casted a spell or what you did, but you should knock it off.
I know. I will try to knock it off. So yeah. I guess that's it. Now, Stephen, are you in the forecast zone for blizzard this week?
Yes, it's currently coming down now. It was really weird. Yesterday it was 43 degrees, and I woke up to just everything covered in ice and snow. And it's just going to get worse.
Everything's covered in ice and snow. Okay.
We've been covered in ice and snow since Friday, and today it's 40-something and raining, 45 right now and raining. So it's going to be, I'm going to have floods here.
I'm just hoping that it calms down because I got shows in 2 weeks. So
you don't care about getting to the bank to work. You care about the show.
I live close enough to the bank that the weather doesn't really affect my commute a whole lot.
Wow, the weather affects my commute out of the driveway.
I'm less than a half mile from work, so I mean,
I'm less
and they
than
don't shut the
500
bank
feet from the
down.
street, but 500 feet to the street, it's still. I mean, literally, it's tough to get it when we get these big, gigantic snowstorms like we had on Friday. It was difficult. That's why I
The
had to go out
biggest
and get bread and milk.
the biggest thing for me is ice because it builds up and then I flip my chair. And like 2 weeks ago, I had a pretty serious concussion. So
I had one Friday night. I went out. I went out to do a little shoveling, and all of a sudden, and I was like, "Damn, somebody's got to get there," because it has to look so fucking comical. I'm not an athlete to begin with, and just me starting to slip and fall has to be just like the best comedy that you could get on video.
Mine was not really comical. I went off the curb and I was still going backwards and I hit a chunk of ice and I flipped backwards and busted my head and had to crawl back inside. And
oh yeah, no, I busted my head. I hit my head on a rock, but you know what? There's nothing really to damage inside.
Same. I didn't have much there, but it was pretty rough. And then had to go to the hospitals on protocol for 2 days. And
wow. Yeah, we've seen you in the hospital quite a bit.
Now, see, it says evens it out in the long run, but we're talking about case by case. Case by case, each person, like if they round up, if it's willy-nilly, and they decide to like round up on black people, round down on white or something, it's like, it's going to even itself out for the, for the banks and the stores, but not for the people.
All right. Fair enough. Stephen, before we go, because we're getting ready to go, right? Oh, we're getting close on time here. How's your putting game?
Not bad actually.
How's your putt? Yeah.
I can putt.
Do you take all three of your balls with you when you go?
Usually just one.
No, the answer is yes.
He's practicing to be a rapper.
Yep. Nope.
Yep. Nope.
Do you know what your power factor is?
Huh?
Your power factor.
What?
That's right.
Yep. No.
Yeah. So
that's my music.
People on the radio were talking to Dave Landau, Steve Ortiz. I don't know why he calls himself Dave Landau, Stephen Ortiz, but
I don't.
He's from Detroit, Michigan. I don't know if that matters. Detroit, not Detroit. Detroit. How do you say?
I'm from Detroit.
Detroit. You said Detroit.
Detroit.
It's Detroit. If you're from New York, it's Detroit.
Well, I'm not from New York. I'm from Indiana, and we say Detroit.
Paul Simon, Detroit got a hell of a hockey team. Got a left-handed way of making something sound.
But that's because he was singing it.
Yeah.
A lot of times you sing a word a lot differently than you actually say the word quite often.
See, this is weird because Ian hates Dave Landau, but he loves Stevie. To me,
I know. It's so weird.
That's like loving Clark Kent but hating Superman or something, or vice versa.
Wait, am I Superman?
I guess so. That's why I was just trying to change it around. Yeah, super douche.
Yeah, but you're the
douchebag.
But you're the 1930s version where you still see
the that's rude. That's disrespectful.
The cape doesn't actually fly in the wind.
In the spirit of sharing apologies, I want to apologize to Stephen for all the times I called him a pedophile or Dave Landau. I sincerely apologize for that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
But it's your fault because you steal from Dave Landau and you fuck little kids.
No, don't. God damn it. I do not.
It's really difficult to change my habits, bad old habits.
I know it is. I apologize
for that. Yeah, they're right there. It's all your fault, though.
That's right.
At least I'm not calling you up and arguing with you about it like this music promoter did. Like he wasn't going to let me off the phone until I said, I'm sorry, I said the disc, whatever. Jesus. Let it go. I'm right and you're wrong. And you're going to insist on getting I'm sorry from me.
I apologize.
Yeah. Do you have runners on your band? Those running boards?
I don't have a van.
I thought you had a van. No,
I have a Ford Escape.
He's not allowed to have vans or park within 30 or 50 feet of a school.
Well, yeah. So your running boards on your car, they're 30 feet in width.
I don't have running boards.
Oh, All right.
Why would he have running boards? He doesn't run.
Can't run, right? I know. I don't think running boards are meant for running on. I've never seen anybody running on a running board.
Me neither.
So I don't know. Did you have a van at some point? I thought you had a van.
I did have like a regular minivan that my ex-wife destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, that girl didn't even know her own car. So to Gay, oh, you ding my car, and then she goes pointing at like on her door, like, "Hello, look down. Nothing could possibly hit your door because you have these. You don't even know your own car."
Well,
so you go back to bring me $2.2 billion in cash today. Would you?
$2.2 billion. You want that in hundreds or ones?
If you could, I'd like it in pennies.
I'll bring it in pennies, but just can't forget to, turn on your radio.
No, I had a question for Matt real quick before he did that.
I was about to do that. What's the question?
My question for you, man, is when you grab that guy, the youth that attempted to punch you, the youth that attempted to punch you, and you grabbed his wrist, were you thinking of the ICE agents like, motherfucker, this is not happening again? Not today, not on my watch.
No, I was thinking this kid is like my grandson. I'm thinking this kid this is the worst pain he's ever felt in his life. He's never been in a real fight. He's never been punched in the face. He's got a big mouth on him, calling me a pussy and all this stuff. But this kid, if he ever got punched, it was like in preschool or something, and he probably cried. But then he's going literally hiding behind his one-eyed grandmother, calling me a pussy from 30 feet away. I'm like, I'm right here, dude. At 15, 16 years old, you can't even out-push me on a shopping cart, you little weakling. I mean, come on, think about this. You have every reason to keep living. My life is pretty much over. Let's get this on right now.
I was just curious because I had a young man, about 20 years old, about 6'2", young white guy, get in my face and threaten me. And I said to him, I said, please hit me, please. I said, I will unleash 50 some odd years of racism and hatred. I will beat you for every unjust thing, like every loan that I was turned down for because I was black. I will beat you for that. I will beat you for every woman that broke up with me because I wasn't black enough. I will beat you for every time somebody disrespected me in the street and called me nigger. I will beat you for. It's like, yes, I told him that, and he goes and he backed off. I said, so please hit me. I said, because I have all this rage that I don't know what to do with. So please.
You're adorable. You are adorable, GD. My goodness.
The one-eyed lady that looked like something out of like a Princess Bride movie. She said, sure, he's going to hit you and then you're going to call the cops. I was like, I'm not going to call the cops. I mean, you want to call the cops? Let's call the cops. I don't know.
I ain't no stinking rat. Anyways.
The other point, let me just say this before. The idea is we are now so in any situation, the thing is to get your phone out and start filming stuff. And now they were filming evidence that I'm just standing here minding my own business. Go ahead. You want to film this all day that I'm just standing here waiting for them to leave. I was like, what's the point here? Are you going to leave or not? Because you're getting me. We're going to take this home and say, look, a bald guy just standing there.
But the camera was not there when the guy hit you in the back of the head. Where was the camera? Where were the phones then?
All right, guys. I got to take off.
Get out. Don't forget to turn on your radio at the bank. Bye for now.
to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.